Banned, apparently. Ah, you have the look of a lad who's seen his fair share of trouble. Mayhap you'd be willing to help me with mine. I need a capable sort to head into the Sea of Clouds and track down my missing airship. I had to mortgage my soul to get the vessel built, so winning the contract to ferry supplies to Cloudtop was a real weight off my mind, but seems my luck ended there. My ship was due back in Ishgard bells ago. I've been praying for a glimpse of her sails ever since. I can't help fearing the worst. What if she's run afoul of sky pirates? My creditors will have their pawns aflench. You think me foolish to fear piracy so far above the waves? Well, let me tell you. No honest matron is safe now that airship production has, if you'll excuse the pun, taken off. Any scoundrel with a sack of coin and a vague sense of direction can terrorize the skies. Oh yes, this new breed of buccaneers like to paint themselves as dashing explorers, braving the unknown. But the truth is their nature is right there in the name, Sky Pirates. Give it half a chance, they'll strip your ship of every last scrap of cargo and yell, ha 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 ha, as they launch you screaming over the rails. I've heard stories. Please, must make haste to Camp Cloudtop. That's where the shipment was bound, and inquires the fate of my poor ship. Oh, and my poor helmsman. Ask Rentremont. He'll know if any man does. Hi. And yes, we're doing Mhach. The Shadows of Mhach. As said 3 times now. But as a refresher, if anyone wishes to join us, you're welcome to. But you don't have to. Supply airship gone missing. Well, that would explain why our provisions are so late. I did in fact spy a vessel charting an erratic course northwards, but it seemed disinclined to make port here, so I paid a little mind. Not the most compelling piece of evidence, I grant you, but I have witnessed naught else of interest, so go check that out. Okay. I've been saying Mhach. So I actually say bleh because screw these rates, but I say Mhach because that would be it in Klingon. But yes, hello FM Aylward, Blade Terval, Bragwin, Valvadrix, Little Billy, Dream Whisperer, von Valkenstein, and of course the most terrifying of all, the hazardous materials. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, and Gigapudding, who is now level 70. Here's the Sky Pirate. They'll make some good coin from this haul. We'll see if this fool is worth the ransom. Do I need to kill all of you? Is that what's happening here? Is this death? Hang on, let me switch to something that's going to kill you all. There we go. I'm ready to kill all. At long last, Gigapudding. The tyranny is over. Aid, aid, I say these villains mean to plunder my cargo. What do you got there, then? Think you're some kind of hero, eh? Think you can stop me and my men? There's 3 of us. There's only 1 of you. We totally got this, don't we, everyone? Alright. What he actually said there was, don't mind if my mates join the fun, make for a more heroical tale, won't it? Tale of how 3 sky pirates fed a middy little shite his own eyes. By the way, feeding someone their own eyes was actually a thing that pirates did back in the day. No, really. It was an intimidation tactic. Do what we say or this will happen to you. So you're the scrag's been dragging our good name through the mud. You're Red Bill Learford. I ain't done naught to you yours. What do you want for us? I think I made my position pretty clear. You take on the mantle of the Sky Pirate, you agree to a certain code of conduct. And codes ain't worth much if the folk go around breaking them. Frankly, you're making us look bad and we can't have that. No hard feelings though, huh? Yeah, get some rest, Rex. I do appreciate your efforts as always, by the way, if I haven't said it again lately. I admit I've completely fallen off in keeping track of who's and what. I honestly have not had the time. Thank you, Master Leofard. Thank you. I'm sure my master wished to repay you. If your employer does business in Ishgard, he'll know a merchant or two what trades with me associates. Tell him to say it's for Leoford, and any reward will reach me soon enough. Yes, Rax is skipping the crap one. I knew it! As for you, adventurer, 'tain't often someone beats me to the scene, but then I expect nothing less from the hero such as yourself. Lore! That is who you are, right? I don't know of too many other folk who have one of those marvelous monocutters the Ironworks dreamed of. I mean, I don't like any of these 3 raids, but we'll see what my opinion is when we go through them. Seems you seem in the trouble tracking you down. I've been hoping to have a word with you, you see. I'll put it to you straight. I need someone to help out with a little venture I have in mind. Someone used to taking a few risks. Someone who likes cats. Now, this wouldn't be a black-hearted brigand's work, so don't worry about yourself on that account. Unlike those thieving curs just now, I don't hold with robbing honest folk. For you see, the Sky Pirate's life is all about freedom. Freedom to go where you will, to find out what lies beyond the next cloud. Maybe you should remove the word pirate from the name, then. If you're interested in joining on an adventure worthy of the name, look for me in the standard of the north reaches the blue window. Someone will be waiting to greet you. And I can just say yes now. Okay, whatever. Hey, 5. Hi, Kata. Well, hang on. Let me get on my monocutter. Okay. It's in this scene hort. Okay. So, while we fly up here, I thought I'd share a little ritual with you all. I guess ritual's the wrong word, but whatever. So, obviously I got Chinese. It was really good, by the way. The sweet and sour was a good call. The, things that are filled with some kind of cream cheese were not great. But the spring roll was okay. And the egg roll was excellent. But, most of you are probably aware of the fact that they have these little terrible, terrible fortune cookies with their terrible, terrible fortunes put in them, right? Yeah, Rangoons, thank you. Thing is, most people like to play a game with these, which is colloquially referred to as the in the bedroom game, right? I'm sure you're familiar with that. I'm sure Giga Pudding is familiar with that. As you might imagine, someone as me doesn't do that. Now, I've mentioned the in the bathroom one before, which is slightly less horrible. But I thought, just for fun, oh, that's funny, we'd go ahead and do my version of it in FF14. Because I came up with another variant. Which is probably less funny, but I found amusement in, which was you'll find such and such in the last video game you just played, which in this case would be FF14. Often back in the day it was WoW, for obvious reasons. So here's the funny thing. Looks like... So I brought 2 cookies here, one for you guys and one for me. Yep. So you ready for the funny part? The one I set aside for myself has no fortune at all. There's none in it. Yours does. It is quality rather than quantity that matters. Do a good job tomorrow. In FF14. Or whatever version you prefer. That's far enough, stranger. You value your life, tell me true. Did you stumble across this marker by chance or here by invitation? I'll make you the hero. Well, Matt, my name's Stacia. Leoford said what might call me his right-hand woman, but I feel more like his bloody nursemaid, truth be told. Anyway, thanks for coming out. I'll take you to the nest. And yes, these ones are extraordinarily stale. Like, to the point of not even being edible. Usually they're at least, you know, edible, right? So, I'm going to give away an opinion now. One of the things I remember most about this story arc is a certain character we haven't met yet who I was not really fond of. I'll point them out when we get there. Well, I mean, also the obvious thing, but I'm not spoiling that. What? I come to you in person and still you refuse my offer. Arrogant fool! On the subject of arrogance, Rodlia, I bow to your superior knowledge. But that's all the bowing you get from me. As I've told you a dozen times, I ain't no one's lackey. What? But my dear Leofard, how else would we propose to survive an expedition into the ghost ship? I would fear for my life if not but your feeble crewmates at my back. Oh, the rest of the food was excellent, by the way. Thank you for asking. Like, the rice was just right, and actually had the flavor soaked through it as it should. And the chicken was properly cooked and in small enough morsels with not too much breading. I've noticed some people, when they do sweet and sour chicken, it's like bread and then chicken, like 50% bread. I hate that. Anyways. I'd fear for my life with your Magi crew at my back on account of you being murderous, untrustworthy bastards to a man. Interesting expression. I thought you were cleverer than this Red Bill. No matter. I always get what I want in the end. 'Tis merely a question of method. I'm gonna kill her now. It would save us a lot of trouble later. Now, there's a face I've not seen before. You don't have the look of one of Leofard's little birds. He's a guest. You understand the concept, right? You know, when someone's invited instead of bursting through the door whenever she damn well pleases. That was Radlia, captain of the Talons. She knows Leofard's the best sky pirate alive, and the fact that he won't join her sticks in her craw. Also, she's a little thirsty, but, you know, let's not get into that. Patience. When all this is over, we will see who rules the skies. Is that a dragon? Like the chest just filled with gold and jewels over there. Yeah, that one. Oh there, hero. I promised you high adventure, and high adventure you shall have, for we plan to board the Sea of Cloud's very own ghost ship. That's a great idea. Or what folk have taken to call it anyways. Every day for the past few weeks has brought with it a new sighting of the self-same vessel. A massive airship of queer design adrift on the wind. Being a curious lot, there are a few buccaneers who tried exploring below decks, but not one of them has been back since. So naturally they're all saying the ship is cursed. Well, haunted. Like I said, honest to God's ghost ship. My guess is she's another relic left by the Alagans, but we won't know for sure until we've given ourselves a good poker inside. And liberated whatever ancient treasure she's got moldering away, of course. Before we start diving up the spoils, we gotta find the damn thing. That's why we've been working on a new device. Finding her will be the easy part. What we can't do without is a veteran explorer what ain't afraid to fling himself face first into the jaws of danger. Now, I know you're a gallant champion of the people and all, but strip away the fame and glory, I'll wager you're still an adventurer at heart. So what do you say? Fancy a plunge into the unknown on the side of the Red Bills? Frankly, I'd rather not. I don't like this raid series. Fortunately, that's not my call. I'll be healing, by the way. The actual stuff. Mostly just speed up the queues. Greetings, name's Utada. I mean, I don't have to heal. If we have other healers, we can do that, but just mentioning it. I suppose you come with the Red Bill's chief of engineering, smithing, carpentry, magitech. If it's part of an airship, I can fix it. Just don't expect to see me waving a cutlass and swinging over the rails. There's fighting to be done. That's your job. Okay. Well met, ladies and gentle pirates. Now that we appear to have our hero, I'm happy to report we have overcome the last obstacle to boarding the ghost ship. Meaning your project is proceeding as planned? That it is, Captain. I knew this would make a perfect place to take readings. Scant amounts of background ether make it easy to follow the derelict's trail. The ghost ship has what Utada tells us is a unique etheric signature. She's been building a device that can sniff out this particular spectral flavor and point us in the right direction. I call it an Ecto Compass. It allowed me to collect some solid data on the vessel's movements and plot a reliable intercept course. No groping blindly through the clouds for us. You stay out here out of harm's way. Keep an eye on the ether trails, huh? All right, Captain. Get an armload of treasure for me. There's no treasure where we're going. Now, we've got no way of knowing what's waiting for us. Lore, you best bring a few of your mates that you can trust. Fine. The rest of us will guarding the rear. Don't worry, she'll not get past us. You can concentrate on carving a path into the ship's belly. An honest to God's ghost ship. This is going to be an adventure and a half. I can't wait. All right, who wants in? Because we're there. I forgot how quick that setup was. Hey, look, it's Onyxia. Look, seriously, it's Onyxia right there. She's actually... I think she's wearing Rydia's outfit, which is funny. Alright, so we've got Little's getting in. Elgo. Giga. The level 70. I'm only inviting you because you're level 70. Bragwin wants in. And I definitely remember Pillars of Snow's character name. Let me just tap my head. Apparently Onyxia's in the group. I didn't actually know that. Ah. Oh, is that you, Pillars of Snow? Oh my god, you can tell I have a great memory. Look, I got a lot of stuff in my mind, okay? Give me a break. This is surprisingly good, Ross. Did the invite not go through? There it goes. I believe that's everyone? No, Giga didn't invite. Giga! Stop reporting. That player's already been invited. We're all waiting on Giga Play. All eyes turn towards Giga. There we go. What do we got? Looks like I will not be healing, which I'm actually okay with. I don't want to tank this place, so I'm going to take a deeps. What haven't I taken? Actually, no. I know what Samurai feels like at 60. I'm going to take the opportunity here to kind of... Oh, I haven't done... I need to play something that's going to be reviewed at 60. So... I don't think Machinist really changes at 60. Yeah, let me check a few things really quick here. I could try Summoner, but I don't have the Summoner quest, so Summoner isn't any different at all at 60. Dancer doesn't exist yet. Neither does Samurai, which I realized at the last moment there. Yeah, Machinist doesn't really... Heck, I don't have any of these abilities. Okay. I could do Black Mage, but I don't have those abilities either. Reaper doesn't exist yet. Okay, so I'm left with Monk, Dragoon, and that's it, isn't it? Oh, wow. Okay. I tried Monk out at 60. Except, I know what Monk is like at 60. Dragoon, maybe? Yeah, no, we'll do Dragoon. Whatever. Screw it. It's up to you. If you want to tank, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Kata, you're welcome to join us if you want, but I will not force you. Unless you want me to. Oh, I didn't go over the edge. Damn it, I should have aimed better. Just gonna wait a few seconds here. Actually, I don't think it'll let me. Yeah. Yeah, Summoner I can't do. Machinist I can't do. Black Mage I can't do. I could do Bard. I might do Bard for a future one. And I think that's... Well, no, I need to do White Mage at some point. I know what Paladin's like, I know what Warrior's like, I know what Dark Knight's like. I could do Astrologian, but I know Astrologian. Okay, yeah. I'll focus on this and then Bard. Kato, are you coming? Or are you coming for the next one? Coming for the next one is fine, I just want to be sure. Here. Not roulette. This is apparently not the raids panel. Down. There we go. Void Arc. The worst raid. That's not true. Although, actually, this might be the worst raid in the game, now that I think about it. I mean, nothing in this game is the equivalent of Molten Core. What is White Mage at 60? What do we got at 60? We have a size, and our first monk thing, and Tetragrammaton. Looks like that's actually it. Oh yeah, coils 3 and 4. Yeah, that's valid. Take it back. I take it back. Oh god. Copied Factory. I have done that once on camera even. And yeah, early Alex is pretty bad, too. There's so many good candidates for terrible... I still stand by my statement. Nothing in FF14 is Molten Core. Molten Core is garbage. It is a terrible, terrible raid. On pretty much every level. Yeah, I thought so. I don't have the third one unlocked. Because I was pretty sure we hadn't done the third Nier one yet. Molten Core or Sunken Temple? Well, that brings into mind the age-old question. What's worse? Bad or boring? Trick question. Molten Core is both. Molten Core is worse than Sunken Temple. I'm not joking. MC is just it's garbage. It's total garbage. Molten Core might, and I'm not joking about this, be more than 3 negatives. Because if we really break it down, Molten Core is bad dungeon layout, bad trash design, yes, a different type of bad trash design, bad boss design, repeatedly, and then you add in the other factors, like the respawn timers. I do like the Yoshi drums of this dungeon, though. Ignore those. Everything's cool here. Cool outfits? No cool outfits. There's no gigapudding here to show me a cool outfit. Never mind, there you are. Oh my god, it's one of those manta rays. So, first trash fight. 3 extremely generic mobs, nothing really fancy here. I should probably mention that this is the only other raid I tend to get when it comes to doing Alliance raids roulettes. So, honestly, there's not a whole lot to talk about here. You know, normally I like the colors black, blue, and purple, but something about the way they apply them here just kind of sucks, doesn't it? Is that just me? Granted, I'm partially colorblind, so my sense of color is different than other people's, but, like, this is not good color design for this place. It all kind of blurs a little bit into this kind of gray, and I know they're going for a frickin' coffin ship, because this is a coffin ship. Spoilers. Yeah, no, it's like, I mean, it's not like they haven't done places that look way cooler than this before this. Hell, Alexander looked way better than this. Same expansion. Ugh. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Genji gear is also just kind of bleh. the subject. I do like the music. Of the many complaints I have about this place, the music is not one of them. So, at 60, we'll talk about Dragoon a little bit. We still only have one AoE! Oh my god! But we do... No, actually, no. Is that an AoE? Okay, we do actually have kind of a second AoE. Sorry. We don't have our second... When do we get that? 62! Jesus Christ. So we have 1.5 AoEs. And we have... I think we have both of our 4 combos, but they don't blur into each other. You just do one combo and then stop, and then go into the other combo. And I am correct. That's a shame. Yeah, no looping it. That kind of sucks. But it's whatever. Oh yeah, the mechanics of this boss are approaching interesting. So he's got a big AoE, and then he's got a water AoE. And he's got a tail swipe. He's got healers who don't cast Esuna. I'm sorry. I take it back, Giga Pudding. Don't let me die, Giga Pudding. He's got the ads. He's got like one mechanic, which I keep waiting for him to do. Well, he's got 2 mechanics, actually. Sorry. But here's the main one I was waiting for. I think. Nope. This is the second one. My bad. I forgot he did this first. He just kind of goes out and is like, yeah, you can't attack me anymore. I'm over here now. And he, like, starts... You can see how he's just doing bombing runs of the area. You know, so we killed it so quickly that he didn't even get to show off the bombing run strat, but that's whatever. Yeah, I would say Dragoon at 60 isn't that much better. It's still not what I would call a truly good class. It hasn't come into its own yet. So I'm in the middle this time. I'm cool with that. So, we have to beat these. Everyone else on the outside has to beat the other ones. If that right there runs out, which I believe is a 45-second timer total, we die. Naturally, that's just a straight DPS check, which we manage because we're awesome. I don't know, I think I'll probably give a plus for Dragoon, because it's still basically the same class as it was at 50, just with 3 additional buttons, which are just tacked on to the existing combo, and that's kind of it. Not bad, but not great. At 70, that's when we'll really start talking about Dragoon. See what we think of Bard. And I think, oh yeah, and that was the first boss. So far we've had bad visuals, boring trash, and bad boss design. Now, we're gonna have terrible trash design. You ready for some terrible trash? Oh, and too much of it, while we're on the subject. Speaking of Molten Core. That's another critical flaw Molten Core made. Way too much trash in between bosses. Believe it or not, there's actually a whole mechanic for this chunk of trash right here. Can anyone in chat tell me it? No judgment if you can't. It doesn't matter anymore. Are we the only ones going that they're all over here? Fine. Believe it or not, stabbing them is not a boss mechanic. I know that sounds strange. Yeah, you see all this pollen? Yeah. We gotta get the airflow going. Someone actually did it, too. Oh, here we go. Then you gotta get back off the buttons. Otherwise, you know, it hurts like hell. Now, give me a moment, and I will respond. Sorry, I'm in the middle of a fight to the death! But you know what? Just for you, Candyman, I will stop dead and die horribly. I'm ready. Here it goes. Thank you, Candyman. I do always appreciate that support. Thank you. If you give me a minute, I will stop dead again. I'm ready. I'm ready for the death. Here it comes. I stand next to Giga, so she has no excuse. But yes, ranged or healers are usually good picks for activating the buttons to make sure that the air stays ventilated, because the melees are busy and the tanks are busy. Notice there's all these weird coffins. Do you see these? Just a lot of weird coffins all over the place. I wonder what that's all about. Whatever. There's some more coffins too. Jeez Louise. It was the only way, Magister, to prevent you from taking over Quel'Tha the Lost. This is my city. Or island. Oh, Sleeping Ghost. Okay, that makes sense. 1990. Still typing up those donations. Hang on, hang on. I'm getting there. So here's the second boss. This boss is dumb. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound negative, but... Okay. So... At a certain point, one of these bosses will stop taking damage from certain types of damage sources. I should forget which is which at the moment. So just watch their debuffs for a second. Buffs, rather. We have to kill the Sawtooth and the plant. You see that goop? Well, we need to not be in that goop. That's why. Hang on, there's another goop. You ready for the other goop? One of my favorite types of mechanics in a video game is when they just prevent you from playing the video game. That's some great... Oh, that's me! That's me! So, if I get people with that... You notice I didn't actually get anything there? That's because I'm a Dragoon and was on it with my reflexes. But, the more people I get in that, the longer I believe we're stuck. I'm actually not sure the exact timing of that, but I do know that one way or the other people would get frozen stuck in that, and that's... Oh, here we go. Immune to ranged attacks. There we go. Now it's invincible to all damage, because that guy's going to do an AoE, so we all have to get a line of sight. Let's see how many people die to this. No one. I'm a little surprised by that. Oh yeah, sorry, I should probably mention this because I actually knew this. The way that you break the tethers is you literally run through the tethers. I think there's some damage involved too. I forget exactly. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I guess I can show off what happens here. This is what happens when you get eaten. Oh my god, I've been eaten! And then I get kicked out as a mind-controlled thing with a plant in my head, I think. Yep, there it is. Unwilling host. Parasite passed via contact with other players. Die, monster. Everyone must die. Notice how this isn't a mechanic. Like, I hate to sound so negative about it. But, like, it doesn't do anything. It only lasts 15 seconds. It's extraordinarily easy to dodge. And if you're paying attention, that's two separate mechanics on this fight, which can be boiled down to prevents you from doing something. One's a straight-up root, paralyze, and the other is a remove control of your player, but otherwise you don't do anything, really. Not super impressive. Yeah, I mean, this... I wouldn't even call this an intelligence check. I mean, you're right, it kind of is. It's just... There's a lot more coffins in here. What's with coffins? God. Are you talking about the Leviathan Magister? Because it was bugged last night when we saw it, so we couldn't do it. Yeah, honestly, an AFK check is not an invalid way to call it. Look at all these coffins. And there's a giant statue of an evil demon thing. And oh my god! Okay, in case you missed that, that was Diablos. Yeah, that Diablos. From Ampador. We actually talked about him a bit there, and I said he'd be back, and I did not lie to you. I know, shocking. I am probably being a bit too harsh, but allow me to go ahead and make my point clear. There's no one specifically big thing wrong with the Void Arc. There really isn't. Its bosses are okay. Its trash is okay. Its visuals are okay. But the way I'm saying this already gets across my complaint, I would imagine. This place is so aggressively average that it actually feels worse than it is. You know what I mean? Like, nothing in here engages me. So it's just... okay. Finally finished typing up all the Pixel Remaster donations. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you again, Candyman. Very much. Plugins are so amazing and terrifying. Yeah, bread without butter. Or meat. Or anything. At least they're using their lighting to slightly better effect in here. Slightly. Lots more coffins, but you can't even really take in the visuals. Like, so this is a not often discussed aspect of terrain design. They didn't design it in a way so you can actually take in the visuals. Like, you have to go over to the edge and really finagle your camera to see how many coffins of different sizes are sitting down there in the mist, right? What they should have done is made, like, one of those round platforms up there we were going on the way in, either narrow or see-through. So you could really take in the visuals. So that's another thing this raid does wrong. And you know what? I'm gonna get on a soapbox for just a second. So if you don't want to hear me soapbox, just mute me until the end of this boss, okay? Oh yeah, by the way, this boss is super gross. So we got tentacles. And we've got... I mean, this is Nurgle. It's frickin' Nurgle. Kukulane or whatever. Another FFT reference. You notice I'm not even talking about the boss? There's so nothing to this boss. It's just, it does a lot of dots and bleeds and pukes, and you gotta kill the ads, and you gotta step on the thing to get out of the puke, and that's kinda it. Like, again, I'm not engaged with the fight. Thank you, Mr. Red, for watching my show for some reason. I will jot that down for, what I assume is a game. Anyway, that's the puke attack there. I thought I was joking. Man, I'm not... Here, I'll even show you this thing. Look at this thing. It's just a roiling mass of globulary flesh. It's just gross. It's a Dark Souls boss without any of the gameplay to it. Anyways. Where are we at? Let's go. Oh, this one. Alright, now this is really difficult mechanics. I want you to pay attention. We need to kill the ads. Okay? Now, I know this is really hard to understand. Because apparently every pug in the universe over in WoW doesn't know what killing the ads means, but, you know. Anyways. So. Soapbox. One of the things I quietly get tired of is people defending mediocrity in entertainment. Now, you do you, and I'm understanding and tolerant and all that fun stuff, but it does admittedly get old when I hear people say, well, it's not that bad. Just because it's not that bad, it's boring, bad, or not good, or whatever, right? Don't mistake me. Don't mistake this for demanding perfection every time, because that's stupid. But one thing that irritates me is this weird presumption some people seem to have that it's okay for a show or a game or a movie or a book to be boring. Now, if you don't understand the core point there, what is the purpose of fiction? What is the purpose of these points of entertainment? Now, there's several ways that things can entertain. I'll go ahead and give my perspective on it. There's three primary things that I tend to enjoy from fiction. I tend to enjoy the narrative axis, the story. Sometimes I really enjoy being engaged. This is mostly from a video game perspective, but still, I enjoy the act of playing it. And the third is anything that provokes ideas. Every now and again I see something that's like, oh, that's cool. So, something that is boring doesn't give me any ideas. Well, no, it might not. Doesn't entertain me on a gameplay axis. Doesn't entertain me on a story axis. I'm not sure I have either, little Billy. But anyways, the whole point here, I said I'd stop ranting after the end of the last boss, and I apologize for continuing to rant. That's my fault. I'm sorry. My core point here is that I have absolutely no problem whatsoever bashing this raid. Because there are worse raids. I just named one. Molten freaking Core. Which is one of the worst raids I've ever seen in gaming. But that doesn't make this good. It doesn't mean I'm not going to give a negative to the Void Arc. Because it is still a dull as dishwater raid. You know what the main mechanic is of this boss? You ready for this? This is going to blow your mind away. It's going to split back up into 3 enemies. And we have to split them apart. That's it. I mean, there's other mechanics, but let's be honest. That's kind of it. Yep, here we go. Split back up. Yeah, no kidding, Blade Jamal. Split them up! Yeah, you can tell which one is the left one because it's called Sinister. Points if you get it. I hope you've enjoyed that, because we're literally over halfway through the fight already. I know, we're killing quicker than we should. My point stands firm. Now, to continue my ongoing trend of fairness, because I am a fair reviewer despite what some people say, I'm only going to give this raid 1 negative. It is ultimately somewhat inoffensive. It is simply dull. I wonder how Noxramas would really hold up in a review format. The original. I've never cleared Nox 40, and I never will. Yeah, Nox 40 requires a huge amount of prep work for 40 separate players, including me. I'm not sure what difficulty has to do with reviewing 5. Like I said, I'm just curious how Nox would review, because, see, I usually praise 40 Nox. Because, you know, it was such a breath of fresh air from every other vanilla raid. Like, Molten Core sucks. Blackwing Lair was starting, but was... You could tell, like some other, you know, raids in this very game, they didn't quite know what they were doing yet. They were getting there. Zul'Gurub had the same problem. Rack was kind of dull, and Tak was honestly boring as crap and way overtuned. And very badly balanced. So yeah, the only actual decent raid in all vanilla is Nox. Bugger me, I expected danger, but not a hell-spawning, bleeding nightmare made flesh like that. Didn't stop you and your mates, though, did it? That's some crew you got there. Yeah, remember that. Thumbs up, we got the treasure. One chest of some random gold. That's it. That's it. Also, why would anyone put gold in this ship, considering what this ship is? Oh, look at me, I never moved a muzzle. Yeah, we already saw Diablos. Yeah, that guy. What the hell is that bastard doing? Nothing we want to have anything to do with, honestly. This way. Swiftly now. Ah, there you are. It's a cat. Did someone on the Heavensward team just really have a thing for cats? I guess that's not saying much. Most human beings have a thing for cats. Better take my chances with the cat than staying here. What about the loot? Are you stupid? You can't spend... Yeah, well, you can't spend it when you're dead. Follow the furball or make friends with the spell-slinging Voidborn. Your choice. That's an honest sky pirate to make a living. I mean, if you want to stick around with that, that's your call. Yeah, the last one was Alexander. Spoilers. Do we have percentages of races in FF14? Because I'm curious what percentage of players are Bigote. Who would play a Viera? That's just crazy talk. Here comes the Stardust Dreadnought. I'll give it this. It looks cool from a distance. A little too organic looking for my tastes, but, you know, whatever. Why would you fly in front of that? The ship's breaking up. Is he trying to bring her down? So you might think, okay. Nope, see, that is a dimensional displacement. Of course, the gate is not large enough for the entire ship. Moon. Oh god, it does, Spartan, you're right. Hey, Diablos. So let's get this out of the way right now. I know it's pronounced Katshi. I don't care. Call him Kate Sith. Forever. Queen's coffin. He takes it beyond our reach. Active accounts is Mikote female, followed by Aura female, followed by Vera male. Ha! I'm surprised at all the bunny boys, I'll be honest. Well, didn't see much point in hanging around here. Let's get back to solid ground. Yeah, Kate Sith, you want to stop being on the edge of an airship that's like a mile in the air? Yeah, everyone was like, Lore, you're gonna turn into a bunny boy, right? And I'm like, no, why would I do that? But you could be a bunny boy! Okay. But why? Yeah, the lore bunner. It was a bit touch and go in places, I'll grant you that, but here we are, with all our bits attached. This calls for a foaming flagon of... Hold on, are we missing someone? Did I tell Utada to wait for us here? Never fear, we've been keeping the girl company. Yes, this is exactly what I want in my thrilling and engaging story about Diabolos and an ancient ruin of Mhach. And the Kate Sith thing and all that stuff. No, let's go ahead and talk about this moron. Enough about her. Did you see the cannon on that ship? As you know, my dear Leoford, I'm not easily moved, but the sheer power on that display set me all a-quiver. I hope you're content to admire it from afar. That vessel ain't for the likes of you and me. Do not presume to measure me by your limitations. Besides, I believe I've shown how resourceful I can be. What is with raids and pathetic nobodies trying to get world-ending ancient tech? Is that just a thing? You have in your possession a device capable of tracking the ship. Hand it over, or your engineer suffers the consequence. I'll give you a counter deal. You touch a single hair on her head, and they will never find all of you. Perfect. A compass pointing my way to my just reward. A weapon like that belongs in the hands of one with the will to use it. Jesus Christ, you're so stupid. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being too harsh because I don't like these raids, but it actually bothers me more than the frickin' Illuminati, who were already, you know, pathetic. But at least I could kind of believe the threat that they posed. But then we have these yahoos. Gonna bang on your head or something? Man, I knew we'd never give in to scum with her, like, without a fight. Unless... What'd you do to the compass? Me, nothing! Besides slipping in a link pearl. So as long as she keeps it close, and you can be damn sure she will, we'll know exactly what those thieving bastards are planning. Anyone care to wager how long it'll take her to notice my little gift? That doesn't surprise me at all. I'm in Maelstrom myself. Or no, I'm not in Maelstrom. I'm in Immortal Flames. Never mind, that surprises me a lot. Why does nobody pick the Immortal Flames? That's very clever and all, but how are you proposing to stop her from getting her hands on the derelict and its big cannon? I haven't worked that part out yet, but we'll figure it out before the next raid. It's the Curious Cat. You wish to know about the Void Ark, the ghost ship, as you call it? So that's its proper name. Aye, tell us what you can. I, for my part, am curious to hear your stories. Ere we continue, however, I must insist you address me by my proper name, Kate Sith. I will not refer to Puss or Cat, and most decidedly not Furball. Meanwhile, or rather later, my tale begins long ago in the city of Mhach. Mhach! Mhach! which once stood in the lands of Yef. The sorcerers of were masters of destructive magic, and they brought that terrible power to bear against the Ampedor and Nim in the War of the Magi. Yep, this is another of the War of the Magi states. We've actually already covered 2 of them, if you're paying attention. The titanic forces they unleashed, however, took a heavy toll on the land, ultimately resulting in a colossal flood that drowned the realm of Eorzea. A catastrophe which my master, High Void Mage Cessair, was wise enough to foresee. Wait. Colossal flood? You're talking about the 6th Umbral Calamity. I suppose you would know it as such. Now, where was I? Yes! They learned of the fate that awaited them. The Mhach Mage began construction of a gargantuan vessel that would bear their people to the skies and to safety. The operation of the Void Ark, as the ship came to be called, was entrusted to Cessair. Prior to that, of course, my master had been a prisoner in her own home, confined for outspoken opposition to the war. So the Ark was meant a sanctuary. Then how come it became to kiss so... I mean... Like, what happened to the people? Where'd all the Void Scent come from? By what power do you imagine such a craft remains aloft? The energy required to raise the Ark was siphoned from over 1,000 otherworldly servants sealed within the vessel. Because... that... yeah. Advances in Mhachi sorcery were made for one reason and one reason only. Cataclysmic destructive power. And the swiftest and most dangerous method of acquiring power was through the enslavement of void-sent energies. And entities. But also energies. So the creatures of the derelict, they broke free from your master's control? At the very heart of the Ark, the Void Mages had entombed a great ruler of the Void-sent, Skathach, the Shadow Queen. Paper Mario 2 reference. But in order to control so potent a creature... God damn, I can't talk. A prisoner, the Mage of Adamant was... Oh my god. I can't read this slow. But in order to control so potent a prisoner, a Mage of Adamant will was required. And being Mhach's preeminent sorcerer, Cessair was deemed best qualified, where otherwise my master might have never been released from her own imprisonment. Yet even with her peerless skill, the Shadow Queen could not long be subjugated. One after another, the Lesser Void-sent woke, ran rampant within the ship. In the end, Cessair and the 53 Void Mages aboard the Ark sacrificed their life energies to return the fiends to their coffins, leaving me, a lowly familiar, to watch over a derelict prison. For a very long time, I feel like pointing out. If I remember my Umbral errors correct, the past stuff you just described happened more than 1,500 years past. Which is a good while by anyone's measure. And since everything seemed to be quiet aboard your boat till recently, I'm thinking something unusual happened to wake the inmates up. Am I warm? One day a void scent that had taken the shape of a bat flew into the ship. You caught that, right? Diablos, who was let loose by the... Okay, so let's follow this chain back here. Diablos had been summoned within Ampedor, but sealed within. But then the cultists of the Calamity, whose names I can't remember right now, started waking them up, and they started waking others up, which started waking others up. I think that's full 3 in the chain there. Which then led to us going there, which led to Diablos waking up, and then Diablos came here to start waking up all of the Void Scent in the Ark. So, thanks for that, people. That's great. I might have missed a step in there. It's a lot of dungeons in ARR have been following this plot thread kind of in the background until we get to here. We have faced this bat-winged fiend before. It would seem, then, that this creature survived the encounter and intends to celebrate his restoration by liberating his queen. Well, it explains that, except for one small detail, namely, where the queen's coffin went. After it went out of the ship's belly, I'm assuming it didn't just disappear, right? You recall the great rift the arc cannons ripped in the sky? That is a void gate. Such portal opens a temporary path through the void, allowing the ship to travel almost instantaneously from one location to the other. The void scent, as you saw, only opened a gate large enough to displace the coffin. As for the coffin's destination, that is as much a mystery to me as to you. I beseech you, conquerors of the Ark. I like that name. Help me find the Queen's coffin ere the ward's binding Skathith, God, I don't know, are dispelled. He's gonna be like, nah. Ain't no profit in me. Oh, right, sorry. No, he's actually a better character than that. Smells like adventurer. Who knows what ancient treasures we might stumble on the way. Gods know they'll make a nice change from all the Allagan tombstones we've been collecting. A little too on the nose there. I will help you. I'm not risking my hide for the sake of the realm, you understand. But I'll be damned if let Rodley or the bat-winged bastard take the freedom of the skies from me. You care only for how you might be inconvenienced? If the Shadow Queen were to return, it would have dire consequences for the entire planet. Count your blessings, Furball. I said I'd help, didn't I? Before we go rushing off in search of the coffin, there's preparation to be made. You might as well get back to your usual heroic employment. I'll let you know when it's time. This is one of my favorite little ludonarrative dissonance things in the game, because every single one of these quests ends with, oh, we've got all sorts of stuff to do, and it's going to be a while till we get there, so you go back and we'll get a hold of you in a few months, and then you immediately talk to them, oh, I haven't seen you in forever. Time is near, my dear Talon. Soon we will seize control of the ghost ship and all its power, and rule the skies! So we can tell that the people following her are too stupid to know better. You can always tell who's in charge because of how little clothing they're allowed to wear. Yay. Lore, I was just about to fly to Ishgard and track you down. You remember Kate Sith? I've been working with them on a plan to find Diablos in the Queen's coffin. There have been void sent sightings from pirates all over, so we don't know where the bat-winged bugger's hiding, but we don't know where. So we have an idea, blah, 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 blah. Come here. Oh, bird. It makes so much sense, Giga Pudding. See, this is in direct contrast to Warcraft, where you can tell the higher rank the person by the bigger their shoulder pads are. I mean, I actually hate that joke, but whatever. Let's not get into that. If you're here to ask about the Queen's coffin, you best turn around and walk straight out again. This aggravating furball has turned my mood sour as month-old owl-goat milk. Leofard, Lords came all this way to help us at your request, I might add. He deserves to hear where we stand on the search, at least. Cross arms. The search has given me ulcers, is what it is. By all reports, Diablos is lurking in the heavens, building up his forces, but the sky is vast. So we can't find him. Then I tried my luck with Radley. Remember her, right? Blonde hair, one eye, stole her compass. Well, I was eavesdropping, but all I heard about her is her crew is snoring, grumbling, and japes about the Archbishop's holy nethers. We have no choice but to do this the hard way, but a certain mewling annoyance refuses to acknowledge the truth of it. You can't possibly hope to investigate the entire sky. I find my suggestion to seek aid from your fellow pirate kings a reasonable one under the circumstances. Ah, stare it, you mangy cat. You have not the faintest idea how sky pirates operate. Best case scenario would be locked into a deal to hand over any treasure we find, assuming we weren't laughed out of the room to begin with. cannot assume every man and woman shares your base morality. If we but made the attempt, I'm sure we could convince a few of the nobility of our cause. Kate Sith. Kate Sith. We need to talk. We talked to you about this thing called human nature. I keep my silence. ... Even the Great Warrior of Light has no simple solutions for this problem. Blah, 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 blah. She's conducting a research. I will go check things out. Why is that up there? Okay, whatever. We'll just do this. We'll just do this. I suppose I should actually give the negative, since I've already given it in my head. What? What's happening here? What troubles you, Mistress Hutatu? We were told that some matter regarding the Void Ark was causing you no small measure of grief. What? Mistress Hutatu, what are you... But Kate Sith isn't cute. They're actually kind of horrifying. I feel much better now. My apologies, Kate Sith. You had the misfortune to enter my field of view just as I felt the intense desire to squeeze something warm and fuzzy. Ah, it's this damnable Ecto Compass. I made another one, all identical in all respects to the first. But look, it points in a completely different direction to where the Void Ark should be. I don't understand what I did wrong. I used the same plans, the same parts. I can imagine that would be infuriating. Are you certain there's no flaws in the design of the materials? Positive. I tweaked and adjusted every single piece, but it refuses to function as intended. I'm on the verge of tossing this thing over the edge. What do you make of this? Yeah, I don't think the compass is broken. Yes, I'm inclined to agree. Judging by your previous work, it would seem unlikely the compass is defective. We must consider other factors. Might you explain to me the principle by which it tracks the Void Ark? Yeah, sure. Comes down to an etheric signature I discovered in the Void Ark that's encompassed by an energy of rather peculiar composition, so I tuned the compass to follow its unique trail. An energy of peculiar composition. Yeah, you already see where this is going. Of course, the Ark was propelled and siphoned by the energy of the Void Scent. The compass was not tracking the vessel, but the ether of the entities imprisoned within. Dun, dun, dun. That certainly explains why the compass now points in a different direction. After all, Diablos and the Shadow Queen are no longer aboard the Ark. Are you implying if we plotted a course based on the ratings, we would find them? Yeah. Let's go. No. Okay, we're okay. I mean, it's literally a familiar Dream Whisperer, but that's a good question. I want to know how she... walk. Perfect timing. We've discovered something Like, that's a long, lanky body. That's going to be hard to stay upright. Talon airship spotted en route. I don't care! Can I have the Illuminati back? The low things in my brain case are just be rattled by all of this. If it's hollow, wouldn't it be harder to stay upright? A little breeze comes by. What? What? Truce, we need your help to save Captain Rodlia. You're one of Rodley's favorites. You threaten my crew, steal my compass, and come crawling to me for help. What kind of unholy mess have you cretins stumbled into? I would take your damn compass, but didn't choose the goat ship. Landed at some moldy old ruins, lousy with void scent. Before we knew it, some sort of spider demon, first boss, was knocking our ships out of the sky. 2 of us managed to pull away, but we saw what happened to them when they got caught in the ground. If the captain survived the massacre, she'll be stuck there with no wings to fly out again. Why don't you just give that link pearl a listen? Might as well learn if Rodley is alive or dead, at least. Too much buzzing. Can't hear a blasted. Wait, I'm getting some words. They're after the Mhach artifact. Damn demons are surge. Hide! And then a lot of screaming. If those screams were an act, consider me fooled. I don't think the Talons are laying a trap here. Alright, we'll help you. Real quick. You. Ah! Alright, that's the price for our help. Let's go. I've half a mind to leave Rodley to her fate. I never turn my back on an adventurer. So, they tell us exactly where to go. The ruined shell of Mhach itself. By Shantoto's black heart, could they be after the Null Stone? That is a long tail now that I'm looking at it. What's the fuss, Puss? You think you know what those fiends are after? Right. See that they're patched up, and then kick them off the edge. Wait, what? You're gonna repair their ships, then kick them off? Yeah! That way I'll keep my neutral alignment. So I'll do a good act and an evil act. You ever think about how insane it would be to maintain a neutral alignment in lore? Yeah, you need a notebook. Hang on, okay. Helped old woman across street. Check. Robbed old woman. Check. Gave old woman... No. Helped kid find thief who robbed old woman. Check. Did not tell kid results of findings. Check. Okay. Robbed kid. No, we gotta start good, then go evil. Right, Furball, let's hear about this artifact Diablos is looking for. If I'm to speak of the Null Stone, I must first examine the method by which the Mhach sorcerers would bind the Void Scent into service. The most powerful... Okay, so let's get some world building here. The more powerful the Void Scent, the more difficult it is to manifest its presence in the world. Their own immense strength weighs them down like an anchor, you see, preventing them from breaking the surface of our dimension. That's why they cooperate with mortal sorcerers. Ugh. A mage can provide a suitable vessel for the summoning, or rip a large enough hole in the fabric of reality for the entity itself to step through. Let me guess, the mage forces the Void Scent to agree to a pact in return for invitation. Correct. But it would be foolhardy to expect such devious and malevolent creatures to abide by the spirit of even the most carefully worded contract. Thus did the mage construct an occult device that would bind the Void Scent to their will, a safeguard of sorts, that to the best of my knowledge lies entombed within the remnants of the ancient city. The Null Stone was seen as the last resort. Should a Void Scent break its pact and turn on its summoner, the mage could use the relic to disperse the very essence of even the most potent entity, obliterating it completely. I can see the Royals of Void not taking too kindly to a threat like that. Seems those sorcerers were just as ruthless as the monsters they summoned. When it came to the glory of Mhach, the ends justified the means. In any event, we can be certain Diablo searches to secure the Nullstone before it falls into mortal hands, and thereby ensure this will reign unopposed. Alright, we know what they're after. What I don't understand is, why was such a valuable relic left behind when the mages knew a colossal flood was on the way? Its value was the very reason they chose not to risk its relocation. The Nullstone is kept within a structure constructed for that purpose, secured behind powerful wards, protected by deadly guardians. Is this the Osma one? And with the rising of the waters, they reasoned the artifact would be sunk along with the city, far beyond the reach of the vengeful point scent. But now that fame is more swamp than sea, the demons only have the wards and the guardians to deal with. And I doubt they'd be wasting their time down in there in the mud if they didn't have some trick to break through the wards. Alright, this is what a sky pirate lives for. Slip those ruins, pinch the relic, rescue Radlia right under the fiend's noses, and get some treasure. I suppose we could save her while we're poking around for loot. So, I'll grab the compass, check your weapons, meet me on the landing, blah, 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 blah. So, who would like to join us for the city of Mhach? I actually wonder how they want to pronounce it. I actually do wonder that a lot, Blade Tribal. Yep. Ugh. Okay. Time to do the City of Mhach. Okay, hang on, let's just see here. So, Kata wants to join, and Mr. Red wants to join. And that's actually 8 people, so I guess we're full. So that works. Hang on, what are we looking at? So I would like to bring Bard if I can, so I could try it out as at 60. Especially since I'm not that familiar with Bard. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I should just give the Dragoon Plus now while I'm thinking about it. Let's see. But that means I'm going to need someone to tank. Someone named Mr. Red. You got this, Mr. Red. Honestly, yeah, exactly, Blade Tribal. Because, I mean, I don't want to spoil their plot, but let's just say, I think several of these plots would go contrary to what the Ascians are after. Alright, Mr. Red has turned into the most terrifyingly terrible tank ever. A Dark Knight! Okay, let me double check here. So we got Dark Knight, DPS, tank, healer, DPS. We're good. And we're just going to do this to make sure everyone's good. Onyxia is not good. Onyxia hates my face. Listen, I've thought about doing the VTuber thing, but it's not my fault. Nobody has a sufficiently well-designed Lich King skeleton, okay? I can't, it's not my fault! Let me know when you're ready. Honestly, probably, yeah, Blade Tribal. Unless they have a way... I mean... So part of the thing... Some people miss this. Not that I'm accusing anyone in chat of this. But some people miss that part of the reason that Thornton was able to absorb La Habrea was because of us. Because we were capable of actually limiting him and preventing him from escaping. So he was stuck there, couldn't teleport away, and then Thornton showed up and nom nom nom. Like, he actually says that flat out. He says, it's amazing that the Warrior of Light can contain me so. And that's when Thornton shows up and eats him. So, it's entirely possible they could get away from Alexander, but I still think they wouldn't be in favor of the overall idea. Who doesn't have the Weeping City of Mhach unlocked? I agree, Blade Tribal. My point is, I don't think it's a good thing. I think they could escape Alexander. I just don't think they could... or I'm saying... I don't think they could defeat Alexander. I'm just saying I think they could also escape Alexander. So, for real, someone does not have this unlocked. Invalid party comp? No, you're right. Mr. Red, go deeps. I forgot how stupid this is. I'm sorry, that actually pisses me off still to this very day. Let me know when you're a DPS, Mr. Red. I know, spaghetti code. Still irritates me. Well, let me put it to you this way. Let me put this in simple terms, Loke. If I and Bragwin and Mr. Red all wanted to queue as a tank for an Alliance raid, it would not let us, even though Alliance raids require 3 tanks. That's it. That's the simplicity of the problem right there. And that irritates the piss out of me. You have to queue as if you are only queuing for one of the 8-man groups, which is 5 DPS, 2 healers, and 1 tank. So if you have 3 healers, or more than 1 tank, sucks to be you. And that's dumb. Anyways. So I'm going to jot down some notes here. I think if nothing else, internal continuity is something worth noting here. What's the name of this change? Shadow of Mhach. How do you spell that? Nope, that's what I thought. It's probably a spaghetti code problem, because what it's really doing is it is forcing you to queue as a party of one of the parties, rather than queuing for the Alliance, if that makes any sense. In other words, rather than queuing for a 24-man, you're actually queuing for an 8-man. And it's just 2 other 8-mans are also queuing at the same time. It feels very much like a patch fix, like a spaghetti code solution. RX. Like, I could kind of see the code design in my head, even. Because part and parceling it out would take a little bit of extra logic with regards to the matchmaking software. This is taking longer than I thought, considering there's 8 of us. Boring, Rax. It was... In all honesty, it's not as bad as I remember. But as I gave a whole speech about the difference between bad and boring. And yeah, it's still a boring frickin' raid. It still gets a negative for being a boring frickin' raid. Not much for it, you know? Hey, there we go. It's taking a minute. I still feel like I'm going to burst. I only had a small portion of my Chinese. It's the rice. I swear I'm less and less tolerant of carbs the older I get. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes me feel bloated. So here's the swamps of Mhach. And never has that been more appropriate of a misnomer than here. So we've already tried out Dragoon at 60. Let's try Bard at 60. Let's see. Yeah, no, exactly. That's why I was talking about how, you know, that'll last me for a while. Because I don't eat that much. I just feel like I've eaten a sponge, or not a sponge. What do you call those things you used to get as a kid, and you know, like in a pill, and you put them in the bath, and they'd expand? I feel like that. I feel like I ate one of those. Hi, Michael Vania. I mean, those are sponges, but, like, you know what I mean. Expando sponges! That's what I'm going to call this from now on. You can quote me on that. Alright, so we still have both our dots. What else do we have at this level? What do we gain? Looks like we get our last songs. That's cool. We also have Pitch Perfect at this level, which, I forget what that triggers that. Oh yeah, Minuet, that's right. We also get Imperial Arrow, which is this ability. And Iron Jaws, which is that one. And Side Rear. So yeah, we have much more complete of a rotation as Bard at 60 than we did at 50. Of course, being a hellbent swamp filled with Voidsent and Ether, naturally there's lots and lots of bugs around here. Now, if you think I'm just being facetious, remember what Ampidor was like. Remember why Ampidor was like that. We actually talked about that while we were going through several of the Ampidor dungeons. Hi, Dr. Winter. Music's better. Visuals are better. Rain's better. You know, it's really sad. I just found myself having the thought, well, this was their first Alliance raid. So, speaking of which, there's our first boss. So this one at least has some mechanics to her, unlike the previous one. So, they do some cool stuff here. In fact, we're going to start buffing. Get over to my party members to make sure I actually buff them. So we got the obvious. Oh, yep, I'm right. Alright, just remembering my rotation. It's actually a little bit different than I remember. Okay, so Sticky Patch, right? Now, I don't think it matters for Phase 1. But Sticky Patch is exactly what it looks like. Maybe it does. So I'm going to stand on the Sticky Patch. Nope, I'm wrong. So we've got a layering thing, a be away from thing. She pops back up. Super gross. We've got the usual block. Here we can show off breaking these. There we go. Of course not. The Karaji are awesome. And I mean that. Like, the Karaji are really cool. I still want a, what are they frickin' called? Northern Karaji playable race, which will never happen. Although in a Warcraft 4X. Anyway, so you see this? It's slow on those sections and fast on these sections. Cool little thing there. There they are. I was gonna say, I would be astonished if this boss was not inspired by the Fireland spider boss, which has very similar mechanics to this. Even the top web, bottom ground kind of thing going on. There's even a point where you're supposed to go down there. Like, one of the groups is down there right now. You can see them. They're fighting that thing down there. I think it's locked in this case, as opposed to in the Firelands where you have to manually swap between the two. I could be wrong. Please feel free to correct me. As always. Ugh. Okay, so this will be Phase 2, which we might not even see, because we usually burn through this. I must not have been seeing it then, which is very possible. I am very stupid. So we're going to get the Quake. Shkonk. At some point, she's going to do another mechanic, I swear to God. I'll be over here ready for it. God damn it, do it! Am I misremembering? Does this just not exist in this fight? I could be at such range. Look at this. Way back here. I've got to be misremembering. Whatever. Whatever. Either that or we're just burning through her way too fast. Speaking of which, let's pop this while we're here. No, hey, there's the mechanic. So the way you deal with this is you get on the sticky. The sticky prevents you from being yanked in. So as you can see, something approaching actual boss mechanics. Even though we're mulching through her rather quickly. Oh yeah, the other thing they're doing down there is they're getting rid of the what's-your-figs, the things keeping the webbing up. So already we're onto much better foot from the Void Arc. I don't remember which boss is next, because honestly I don't remember the order of bosses in here, like, at all. Next is Zombie Dude. Who wants to predict a wipe for Zombie Dude? What am I bid? Hell, I'm probably gonna die because I'll forget the exact timing of it. Yeah, look, it's... Oh no! We've been washed away. So the Warrior of Light dies. A broken back. I don't know what these things are. Hey, there's a lot of corpses here. Hope there's no necromancy going on. That'd be terrible. 5 deaths? Ooh, okay. I'm gonna predict... With this group, I'm gonna predict 3 deaths. Possibly including myself. If I see 2 people about to die, I might leap to my death just to make sure I win. That. Mr. Red says 1 person will die. No one's betting 0 right now, which amuses me tremendously. I mean, I wouldn't either. So I'll admit it, I'm actually liking Bard at 60. I think I'm building myself up to a positive for Bard at 60. Go figure. And the other classes get to wait. The Paladin, which gets a negative for sucking. Paladin gets like 1 other ability of note from 50 to 60. And it's basically just an elongation of their combo. I mean, they get a heal. Alright, so Zombie Dude. And a big pyramid. Look at that sucker. Hey, it's Osma. Alright, so. So this guy's gonna put these nice big circles on the ground. And when you're in them, it's like, but you don't get instantly killed because you're a zombie in the circles on the ground. which is usually helpful. Not getting instantly killed is usually fairly helpful. See these things? Now, obviously not yet, but you'll see him cast, like, Mega Death, I want to say, is the specific name of the spell. And it is aptly named. It instantly kills you. It's pretty much the frickin' spoiler fight from FF10, for those of you familiar with it. Let's see what he's going here. I honestly don't even remember the other mechanics. I know there's a Dorito mechanic in this one. I don't know if it looks like a Dorito, but it is. Oh, speaking of which, Dorito. Not bad, actually. Just everyone jumped in on that one. So that's a Dorito. We've talked about universal markers, and we've kind of been showing this off as we've been going through this. You'll notice a lot, anybody who's familiar with this game long-term has probably started noticing some of the universal markers. They're not really universal markers yet. I think Stormblood is when that will officially be a thing, and there will officially be universal markers for fights. But you can see how they're inventing the universal markers as we go throughout Heavensward. Because, yeah, there's the Dorito. We've seen the towers. That's really gross when you think about it. Don't think about where these people got turned into. Just don't think about it. Just don't think about it. This is your typical DPS check. Kill them before we die. Oh, that's what I thought. What's the point of that? There's someone who knows Bard. What's the point of Iron Jaws? It seems to me like it's outclassed by Heavy Shot in every way. Ah, so it does. Okay. That's not what I thought that did, or maybe it changed what it did. But either way, I will have to keep that in mind. Thank you. Big hit. There's Mega Death. Oh, there's 3 dead. Didn't remember how many I guessed because, oh right, it was 3. Okay, that's more than 3. Damn it! Well, 3 died to Mega Death, so I still win. There we go. That one claimed a lot more than 3. Whoa. That's actually bad. I need to move my buttons around, I think. This is not how these buttons I thought worked. Oh yeah, he has a Fallen 1 attack, by the way. Because of course he frickin' does. Group up, Doritos! Group up! Might still pull this. Group A is entirely up. I apparently need to get in this. Give me it, give me it, give me it! Okay, we're okay. I still count that as a win. 3 people initially died. That means you need to pay. Please don't donate. I'm joking. Please, God, do not donate. Okay, so I need to redo my button layout if that's going to be how that works. So let's do this up here. The refresh we'll put there. We'll leave that, we'll leave that. That's on that. That's okay there. No, Dr. Winter, you... Dang it. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of void scent in those coffins. And notice, oh my god, look, it's actually doing exactly what I was just talking about in the last raid. That's how you show off your visuals. I mean, that's a way to do it. But you see how they did that? They allowed you to fly through the air, so you have nothing impeding your view. That's exactly what I was talking about last time. What are we? We're Group B, so we're just here. Oh, thank you, Dr. Winter. As always. Okay, so let's see if this new button layout works a little bit better for me. Ow, that was quick, too. Let's do this one. So here's a question for you bards out there. Is it best to wait for 3 marks before doing Pitch Perfect? Which is what I'm currently doing, but I don't know if I should be. Okay, that's what I figured. It just sort of felt that way, you know, like it seemed to lean that way. Come on, one more. That's right. No, Dream Whisperer. No, don't do it. Thank you, Dream Whisperer. As always, if you know where you want that one to go, do please let me know. Thank you. Dr. Winters is going towards Darkest Dungeon. Lord X, you got it. Congrats, Canada Bangs. Is that a good thing? Like, I like that, personally. I like... My bed is actually a decent ways off the floor. I'm with it. Bad memories of having my mattress on the floor. Or having my air mattress on the floor. Or having my foam pad on the floor. You ever heard of back pain? Anyways. I am happy for you, Canada Banks. Congrats. So, this is Osma, right? This sure looks... Yep, okay, so... This is the worst skybox in the game. I'm not making that up. That is the... It is terrible. It's a... Just... It's hard to even explain how bad that skybox is. It's just a repeated JPEG. And you can literally tell. You can literally tell it's a repeated JPEG. It's just... It's awful. I hate it. I should probably get up here before the fight starts. You can really tell. Like that. Look at that. Look at that. God, I get it. We're inside the pyramid. It's supposed to be artificial looking. But it looks bad. Hate it. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, so yeah, sorry, I should clarify. We are inside the pyramid right now. You can kind of tell by the fact that there's the line to the top of the pyramid. But yeah. Okay, so Osma. This guy has a lot of mechanics, and I honestly forget which is which. One of them is you have to be, like, right up on him. One of them has to be off the middle. One of them has to be out of the middle, because he'll hit that whole line there in the middle. I forget which is which. We'll figure it out. Healers, cover our slack. Button. There's going to be a nice big AoE. Which, yeah, they need to take as far out of the group as possible. Actually, most of the times I wipe on this fight, no joke, it's because of that. Because it's not just that, it actually drops one of those. And if that drops on the group, that hurts like hell. Meanwhile, I think that Canada Bangs is seeing things, so I'm not sure what's going on there. So there's transference number 1. That was apparently a move in. And that's a move out. Jeez, I don't remember any of these attacks. Oh no, this is a get away from the tank. That's what this is. Okay. And a move in. And a move in. Oh, jeez. We're dead. Well, here's phase 2. So here's phase 2. They split us up. Each of us can only attack our Atomos because it's always an Atomos. You can actually see over there in the distance the Hell portal. And this is the thing that you were seeing through Osma, if you were paying attention. This, yeah, I'm just gonna release. I'm just gonna release. Oh yeah, you can fall off the ledge, but it's okay. You can be rezzed. You should still probably not fall off the ledge, but... you know. Improvements. Well, while we wait, let's see. Reggie Brock asks, which of the main playable characters throughout the FF series, other than Lightning, would you say is the strongest? It's a good question. Other than Lightning... we were soaking... I mean, we were soaking the arm. Someone else might not have been. Let's see, back here. Well, we also introduce a new question with that question, which is, do we count them at full power, or do we count them, like, at their weakest, or do we count them, like, at their average level? Like, how powerful are they normally? Like, Squall is a super badass, but only when he has the Guardian Forces, right? 13.3 has Lightning kill God by herself, Dr. Winter. I think that kind of surpasses everything else. Where's Kata? Why is Kata down there? I'm confused. Kata? Kata! Kata! Anyways, so excluding Lightning, who is just ridiculously overpowered, who resets and rewrites reality, by the way. I don't even feel like that's a spoiler. So my knee-jerk thought is actually Terra. Not because I'm FF6 biased, but because even ignoring Magicite and even ignoring everything else, she is still an Esper, or part Esper. She still has innate magic built into her, right? The next guess, and FMAL word already got there, was Rinoa. Rinoa is a sorceress, and in lore, sorceresses are frickety OP. But yeah, this is why I mentioned that, do we count them at their best or at their worst or whatever, because Noctis with the fully powered ring and all of the people through him, well, he was pretty damn strong too. Then we have Zidane, who is quite literally an artificially constructed angel of death, and you see the problem here. Like, there's most of them are strong to some extent or another. It's kind of an interesting question as to which is which and where. Do I have health? I have health. I'll let Linolin get that one. I'll get the next one. I'll get the next one. Did we get them all this time? I think we got them all this time. Okay. No turbo death. Yay! And then there's Vincent, who is empowered by his own unique form of materia. Then there's Yuna and her eight ions, she can call upon. By the way, remember this mechanic from Crystal Tower? Well, this is that mechanic, but done better in every way. So that's cool. I would agree that if we're counting at full strength, as much as I hate to say it, it's probably Noctis, which is vaguely irritating. Oh, shoot. I actually didn't mean to do that, believe it or not, but whatever. We're here already. And don't mistake me. Noctis is cool and all, but, like, it's weird calling him the strongest FF character. Or I guess in this case, second strongest. I forget how much... Okay, it goes down over time. Don't look at it for too long. Don't look at it for too long. I honestly forgot about that mechanic until I saw it on me. Well, yeah, that's exactly the thing. Noctis's power isn't sustainable. That's why it feels weird counting him up there. And yeah, we're not counting 14, because we're not counting 14. So if we knock 15 off because, you know, he just can't maintain that kind of a thing. If we knock 13 off because it's silly, and we knock 14 off because it's its own thing. And then we do this. So that leaves... No one in 12 is that strong in lore. So that's an easy one. 12 is pretty low tier in lore. Triangle is out? It is! Yay! Memory! Oh, just muscle memory here at this point. Let's be on the edge here, don't mind me. Not me. Just trying to get up there. 10... So, 10 is... Some of the characters in 10 are reasonably strong. But if we're being 100% honest with ourselves, most of the personal power would be on Yuna specifically with her summons. Which, there's ways around that. So I don't think I could really count her. Like, she could bring a lot of power to bear. But if you take her out, that summon is gone. And even her summons are limited in how they function. She can only have one at a time. And there's the limitations of only one thing being summoned at a time. And also... You know, they're not even there in 10-2. So this is the end one, I believe. Yep. Should really be hitting this button more. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible bard. I apologize. I can't DPS. I'm such a crap DPS. More. There we go. Make sure I don't get Giga Pudding with that. I must save Giga Pudding. It is my destiny. So, we've kind of knocked out everything down to 9. Now, Zidane is no joke. Zidane is an angel of death, and he is quite strong. And frankly, he's probably not even the strongest thing in his particular game. Like, that would probably belong to Vivi or Garnet. So, 9 has some decently powerful people. The catch is, someone earlier was talking about Renoa, I think it was FM Aylward, and even though Renoa has a hell of a lot of power at her back, for the same reason Renoa would be discounted, because I just can't say her being brutal and vicious enough in order to, you know, do that, I kind of agree that Garnet, who would have very strong power based on her summons, would probably not be the kind of person to do that. That does still leave Zidane, who is, you know... Oh, I love these terrifying statues in the background. And Zidane is no joke. So far we have one candidate as we're going back through the series, to Zidane. So, I don't remember how to tell where her hair's about to hit, so I apologize for all the damage I'm about to take. It is Trip SE2. So there'll be no telegraphs. She'll just be, you know, doing it. I love how they wait for us. They see we're in the cutscene and they wait for us. How many games do that? Okay, apparently Ball is away. Blade is close. I can do that. So if we track back to 8, we run into the same general problems. Rinoa is easily the strongest character in 8, but we've already talked about that, and quite frankly, all of the others are almost entirely dependent on their Guardian forces to really be able to hold up. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of discount 8 outright. So, Blade is close. Blade is close. Or not. I know, right, Trip? It's just great seeing this kind of stuff. I was doing just a random roulette recently, and we got World of Darkness, and we got up to the final boss of World of Darkness, which is the Cloud. And like 3 people were watching the cutscene, and someone's like, "Why haven't we pulled?" And someone else is like, "Oh, they're watching the cutscene." Really? How can you tell? Well, you see this icon over their head. Oh, cool. And it just turned into this conversation. It was so wholesome. I loved it. Anyway, sorry. I would agree with that, if I'm L word. Unless you're talking about actual gameplay stats, in which case I have no idea. Button. I remember my buttons exist. I'm a good bard. No, I'm not. I'm a terrible bard. Still working on it. I'm working on it, I swear. Alright, so we move back to 7. We accept getting hit. Can I attack it from within? No, I cannot. That's okay. We kill acid deaths. Bijous, because apparently this is Zandalari now. And I remember gathering Bijous for Zul'Gurub. God, I hated doing that. Okay. So then we move back to 7. Yeah, go ahead, Rex. You're going to have to convince someone to leave, I'm afraid, because I think we're actually full. But, you're more than welcome. It's going to be like half an hour. We got a lot of cutscenes. Oh. Dancing Mad? Alright, I'm insulted. Yeah, I was gonna say 7's kind of a weird one because the overwhelming majority of their power is in lore even based on the materia. Like they even have dialogue in the original FF7 about how we're borrowing materia from the planet in order to defend the planet. If you remove materia from the equation, most of the characters in 7 go down in power substantially. Not completely out, just down. We kind of see this in the movie a little bit, too. That being said, all of them are capable combatants, and two of them, are literally superhuman. And it's hard to define how good Vincent really is, hello, as we kind of mentioned earlier. But it'd probably go to Vincent or Cloud from 7, even without the materia equation. Okay, what? Yep, that's gonna hit me. Just gonna accept. Oh my god! Okay, there it goes. Let's say, bull crap, that didn't hit me. It's not something you hear me say often in this game. Yeah, I'll go ahead and hit this. Stay vigilant. Get some good rest. I love how it's just her hair. Even the attack is called haircut. Well, I'm more thinking in lore than in gameplay, Dr. Winter. Which brings us back to 6. Now, I've already given my answer for 6. Terra is by far the strongest thing in 6 amongst the party members, with Celeste being right behind her. In lore, magic is overpowered, and with good reason, in 6. Oh, wow! That's a thing that just happened. You got this, Giga! Yikes! Yeah, that's a lot of death right there. Yeah, I think there's... Well, no, I don't... Other than Magus? I mean, Magus for us? No, I would still say Celeste is after Terra. Remember, Celeste is not just a mage, albeit an artificial mage, but she is an infused mage. She doesn't need Magicite to cast magic, and she is an experienced combatant, too. Oh, we're talking party members, Ross. If we're talking everyone, that is a completely different discussion. That being said, I would probably put Strago, hey, behind Celeste. And then Realm. And then I'd have to think about it, but at that point, we're past the point of caring. I guess just do damage. Yeah, whatever. Just do damage. Just do damage. Just do damage. That's just... Wow. There's the Null Stone. Probably, maybe. Honestly, I'd probably give it to Robo over Isla. In lore. Robo's a robot with guns and beams and heals. Isla hits like a truck, don't mistake me, but, you know, that's it. Frankly, I think Isla's stronger in-game than in lore. So hang on, we'll move back from FF6 in a minute. Now we have tons and tons of cutscenes before we get back to that conversation. Yeah, I don't know why the hell they tanked her right on the edge. It's a terrible place to tank a boss like that. Bosses like that, you want to tank front and center. Right in the middle. That's not true, Bragwin. I was up too. Right at the end there. So this is the Heart of the Ruins, huh? Hi, Alex. You did a fine job dismantling the defenses, Lore. You're welcome. I only wish we say we had the same success, but Rodley and her talons are nowhere to be found. Yes, it's quite distressing, but we must focus on claiming the prize at hand. The Null Stone is ours. I'm also going to give a gameplay plus to Bard. Bard is pretty legit at 60. I like it. More than I thought I would. Bard. You've left me such an inviting trail of destruction to follow. For I am... I don't actually know who that is. Furry Dad. Well, well, it isn't the adventure I've so longed to dismember. Praise Lord Diablos for the opportunity. I shall give to him your head in gratitude. Oh, speaking of gifts, I brought his present to celebrate our gleeful reunion. It's... some twit nobody cares about. No, seriously, just shoot her right now. This is the lovely lass you've been oh so desperately seeking, isn't it? Let's see what she rent limb from limb to hand over the Null Stone. No. 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 Oh my god. God almighty, I hate this trope so goddamn much. Give me the item that lets me blow up the world, or I'll kill this one person. Okay, here you go. Oh, thank God. He's not actually turning it over. Yes, kill her yourself. It's the only way. Kill her. Kill her, worthless self. Thank you, Ventures, very, very much. I don't know if I said that already. Sorry, I mentally already flagged it, but I wanted to make sure I said it out loud. And that's going towards Too Long Name. Oh, my goodness. You think I care about her worthless limbs? That woman's done naught but cause us grief, and I just thought to crow over her grave. Don't give me that look. What, you thought I was here to save your sorry hide? You've never been aught but an obstacle to me. Do you remember the first time we met? You were roaring with laughter at the sight of all the Malagan relics until I used your pretty blonde head as a stepping stone. Damn you, selfish bastard. And damn me for expecting you to act too different. If I had my weapons, I'd blow a hole in your belly. Have you forgotten how awful a shot you are? Not much of a threat when I've seen you miss the side of a cathedral at 10 Yalms. Silence, you grinning fool. You've ruined my moment, now I'll ruin your smirking face. Okay, so credit where credit is due. They didn't do the thing I hated. I'm actually impressed by that. I probably shouldn't be. Because, like, the absence of a negative probably shouldn't be praised. But that's... They did it. They skipped past the aggravation that I hate. Good job, Square. Or Team 3, anyways. Well, Ventures is trying to give me a heart attack. Fortunately. I need to stop reading. Clever farce, mortals, but the show's not over until you scream. Yeah, they baited the bad guy into attacking them and got her free. Credit where credit is due. I'm actually surprised. Meanwhile, Diablos was watching the whole thing, because of course he was. Okay, perfect. I need to do a couple of things super quick here. Pardon me, give me one moment. No, unfortunately, my character looks much less cool at the moment because I'm currently a bard. No pluses ever! What do y'all think? Should we give that scene a positive, or should we merely give it the absence of a negative? Because absence of negative is a good thing, it's just, you know... What do y'all think? We could also give it an aggregate. If we wanted to. I don't know, what do we think? What does chat think while I deal with something? Please forgive me. So, forgive me for doing my due diligence there. That was a scam caller. But I wasn't just verifying that it was a scam caller because anybody with a functioning brain could have told you that. I was curious of something. You see, that scam caller called me 3 days ago and said that this is a time-sensitive matter. Yesterday, they called and... 2 days ago, excuse me. Yesterday, they called and said, hey, you need to call back today. I was actively curious what they would say today. Can anyone guess what they said today? Oh no, they won't say what it's about, which is red flag number 1. Nope, today they said, you need to call today. The deadline for calling is today, apparently. And also yesterday. And the day before yesterday. It's a script, is the point. I was curious. Because sometimes they get clever in a bad way. Sometimes they get mean, and sometimes they get, and I'm just going to say this as bluntly as I can, criminal in how they try to catch people. But nope, they're just going off a script. I'm going to try White Mage for the next one, if everyone's okay with that. Actually, no. Yeah, I'll do White Mage for the next one. Yeah. I was going to do Scholar, but I don't want to be a load. More than I usually am. Now that we have some excitement, wasn't it? Now that was some excitement, wasn't it? Probably a little too much for Radlia, but we gave her a bed to sleep off the worst of her ordeal. She'll be back to her usual cheater-full self in no time. Quite a John Fulton. You and me make a pretty good partnership. And shove off the cliff. There it goes. But I've got words for you, Furball. You said the relic would obliterate the Void Sin completely. Seems to me the foppish fiend just got scorched before he slipped away. Oh, that was just a fraction of its power. Once I have learned how to unleash its full potentials, demons will be consumed like gnats in a bonfire. So you're telling me our secret weapon isn't ready for battle? You might as well wielding a blunt sword. Why no, Rax? Why'd I remind you this blunt sword stung our foe sufficient to free the Lady Pirate? A result we could not have achieved with your blustering words alone. I was ready to flee without her if things took a turn for the worse. Or, you know, we could have just killed the dude. Like, isn't he the first boss of the next raid? Whatever. Ugh. Stretch my back out slightly here. Alright, so unfortunately, now I have to delete another spam mail really quick. Delete immediately. Thank you. No, I think Little Billy is bowing out. I think it's Elgo? God, it's been a while. Real quick. Thank you, Venters, so much. Always appreciate that support very much. Thank you. I have put that towards Romance of the 14 Kingdoms of the too long name. Your social security number has expired. Okay, see, that's just funny. The ones where they prey upon people's lack of understanding and actively threaten people, those are the ones that piss me off. I'm so sorry, Venters. Thank you, Alex. I will jot that down for Paradise Killer. Thank you. I'll skip ahead of the question queue really quick. What's your opinion on every dungeon in the game after Heavensward basically being a straight narrow Horrorway? This is going to sound strange. I don't mind. I don't think it's a good thing, don't mistake me. But I don't mind. As long as you do good trash design, as long as you do good trash encounter, as long as you do good boss design, it's whatever to me. Don't mistake me, I like a good dungeon design as much as the next person, but it feels like they just wanted to drift away from that and focus on their strengths, which is the specific fight design. And I'm okay with that. As I've said many, many times, this game's strengths are its story and its boss fights, so... Social Security number shouldn't be legal verification here in the States, but that's a whole other topic. Oh, we might be waiting a while before she wakes up, so... Go away. Well, okay. You insist. Anybody else would have quit, and you've been here for 11 years, so... Congrats! Is it at least a decent raise? You don't have to tell me specifics. I think I'm going to give a full positive, by the way. I was thinking about it while I was bowing to Ventures. It's a good scene. It's not just a subversion of the bad scene. It is actually a good scene. Almost make a living wage. Oh, I can't even make fun of that. Oh there, Lore. Might as well make yourself comfortable while we wait on Radlia. Besides, I wager you could reuse the rest. I'm not giving it 2 positives, which is what Alex donated for, by the way. You're welcome. Where's the rest of my crew? Surely there were other survivors. Let's try this again. You start with you, your... Twit. Tell me, Rodley, what drove you to risk exploring old Mhach? The compass sent you there, but you were after the Void Ark. You knew something, didn't you? I found a book. We were looting these strange ruins in the sea clouds, and one of the lads dug up a tome. It had a passage that described the Void Ark and a powerful relic called the Nullstone. A tome inscribed by a Mhach sorcerer, perhaps. Captain, would you happen to know the author of this work? That necklace looks so uncomfortable. The words are muddled by obscured magics and 1,500 years of fate are the pages. There's much that remains illegible, but what little of my daring cutthroats and I could decipher suggests it was written by a mage of exceptional status. And it turns into dust right there because you just tossed it on the freaking table. See for yourself. If what the book says is true, the Ark is a source of immeasurable power. With that ship under my command and the mysteries of Mhach in my possession, I thought to crown myself Queen of the Skies. You idiot. Oh, look how well that turned out. What matter of Sky Pirate? What matter of Queen can't even keep her own crew alive? A bad one. Radlia, is it not? Would I be correct in assuming you seek revenge against the Void sent who slaughtered your comrades? Of course I want revenge. That's... I am mad at that person. I'm just going to summarize that. You are not alone in your desire to end these abominations, Captain. Will you not join our endeavor to secure peace for the skies? Join the Talon's strength to ours. He just shrugs. What strength? The way things are now, I doubt I could keep peace in a monastery. Yeah, what's funny is everything about Cait Sith is unnerving. The length of the tail, the shape of the tail, the styling of the ears, The specifics of the shape of the head, the positioning of the mouth, the shape of the mouth, the shape of the eyes, the size of the eyes, the shape and size of the entire torso, the positioning of the legs. You notice how the spine does this and then goes straight down? Just, what the crap? Who was smoking what when that was designed? In-universe. This is not to do with personal grudges. I just don't have the men. All my best fighters died in the ruins, and the dregs that are left are scarce sharp enough to be called talons. You leave your spine back in the ruins, Radlia? You've had your wings clipped, and no mistake, but that's no reason to give up the life. I thought we'd rescue a sky pirate, not some cur that turns tail when her pack ain't there to bite for her. I know what you're trying to do, Red Bell, but I've lost my taste for glory. You can have the cursed book, just make sure that bastard pays. Hey, Furball. How quickly can you decipher it? About 3 months. Okay. Yep, we need to go face the God, I don't even remember the fights in the third dungeon, I don't think. Other than, you know, Jackass, who apparently isn't even the first boss. I guess we'll see when we get there. I mean, the second raid was much better. So that's something. Death Gaze. No. The skies should belong to no one. Dramatic pan up to woman. See, the thing is, when I hear Death Gaze and I close my eyes to picture a fight, I picture a fight that I'm pretty sure is a Shadowbringers fight, isn't it? There's like a pushback and you have to be in the path of the ice chunks to not fly into it, to not fly off the edge. People have to drag the giant things over here because otherwise they'll hit these people. Is that really here? Wow. Okay. So that's 2 fights that I remember. Which is the guy right there and Death Gaze, apparently. Or Doom Gaze, or whatever they call him. 1,000 apologies, Lord Diablos. I shall personally wring each and every one of their scrawny necks. The time for skulking has ended. Oh, I'm sorry. The time has come to wait 3 months before we do anything more. I'm exaggerating. So what's the 4th fight? Or more accurately, the 2nd fight, I guess it would be? Well, with Little Billy and Bragwin bowing, the answer to that is we have 1 slot for you. I'd hurt. Diablos is a void scent, which means he's one of the survivors of the World of Darkness, after it was completely consumed by darkness. We've actually discussed the World of Darkness a couple of times, and we're not done discussing it either. So I'm kind of being a little bit vague. But we've been there. It was the 3rd raid of the Crystal Tower series. Lord, Kate Sith just sent me to find you. Slowly turn towards Stacia. You have a knack for showing up at the right time, you know that? I love this. He thinks we may be onto something. Okay. Yeah, the survivors mutated into what we call Void Scent. For all intents and purposes, they are the classic archetype of demons. There's just a few specific rules that are variant for them. But if you think of the classic concept of demons, that's them. I would like to heal. Again, for review purposes, to try out White Mage at 60. I don't have to. I could try out Warrior at 60 if I have, I can also try out Monk at 60. So I technically have one of each I can do. Those are actually the only 3 I've got right now, though. Other than Scholar, which I am super not doing for this raid. If my memory serves, this is the actually hard one, or at least the one I wiped the most on. Boom, boom, boom. As suspected, this tome was penned by a sorcerer of superior standing, as well as detailing the methods by which the power of the Nullstone might be unleashed. Its pages contain a number of revelations concerning my master, the High Void Mage Cessair. If these histories are to be trusted, Cessair herself was responsible for summoning Diablos. But I thought you said your master was opposed to supporting the war effort. Why would she be the one to call up the bat-winged monster? Cessair only agreed to the ritual as a means of bringing the conflict to an early resolution. From what I can glean, Diablos was intended as a bluff, a threat never to be exercised. Let's call it sin. But those arrogant imbeciles ignored my master's carefully laid restrictions and elected to unleash the fiend on Ampidor, which is where we found Diablos, if you're remembering. It was when Cessair moved to protest this act that she was branded a traitor and imprisoned. Once they had contained the opposition, the Void Mages studied all manner of otherworldly arts at the taloned feet of their new pet. The most dangerous which is the rite for summoning Skithach, and the method of chaining her power, which has to be the 4th boss. Yet even when they all had perpetrated, these ambitious fools had the gall to come crawling to Cessair when the coming of the Great Floods was predicted. They begged her people to take control of the Ark for the salvation of the Mhach. As you saw yourself, however, the energies of the Shadow Queen broke loose, and blah blah blah. So, the only saving graces in all that madness was the damnable fiend was sealed away by the White Mages of Ampidor. I shudder to think of what would have happened had he been reunited with his queen. So now, 1,500 years later, Diablos is looking to finish what he started. Thought Bat-Faced was some opportunistic underling, but it turns out he's the main villain behind this whole mess. Were Cessair alive today, she would accept responsibility for unleashing Diablos in the world. As the High Void Mage's familiar, it is my duty to act in her stead. I have deciphered the secrets of the Nullstone. I shall erase Diablos from existence. I like your spirit, but try not to rush in too quickly, huh? Getting yourself killed won't do us or your master any good. Now, I have an idea, okay? It's called a mask, and like a full coat to just completely cover your being. And then we do some things, and we get a hood on her, and she looks like a Jawa. We've got the company to go, but who knows what kind of place it'll lead us to, or how many demons there'll be. We'll get slaughtered just like the Talons. Oh yeah, speaking of which, the tome made special mention of a location for... Why are we just standing here? / nod. Oh, I guess we should go too. I used to know how Utini was spelled just because the card game spelled it out. Oh no. Oh, his back's broken. It's okay, I'm a white mage right now. There you go. Fixed. How about my ribs? There you go. At long last. This is far from over, demon. We'll not allow an abomination like the Shadow Queen to rule this world. Then thou knowest not of ruling. It is might which decideth dominion. Yeah, sure thing, Gaius. But believe what thou mayest, frail creature. You are playthings. Your screams of denial shall amuse me as I send this rock and all upon it to shatter upon the ground below. I'm just gonna watch this guy for some reason. You just go ahead and keep charging up. God, why do we do nothing in these cutscenes? It's just a thing. It just happens. Yeah, look, it's the climactic battle. Sorry. Why are we in this story? You know, I just realized that. I think that's part of what irritates me about these kind of things. For all intents and purposes, we don't need to be in these cutscenes. I will not tire my arms with the swatting of so many flies. The Nullstone is in my possession, and I have much to do. Yeah, there's no reason for us to be in so many of these cutscenes. They could have just had this cutscene, right? As an echo, even, if you want to go that route with it. And then, you know, Kate Sith, or her, or Ham, or someone reaches out to us and says, Warrior of Light, we lost the stone, here's what happened, explain, cutscene, and then we go and we fix the problem. And I know that would kind of divorce us from events even more, but at least then we wouldn't be standing around gopping, like we're just kind of, butterflies. I wonder, if chocolate is melted, is it really chocolate? Oh, right, yeah, what's going on? Yeah, end of the world, whatever, I'm here. I'm just gonna give it a negative. This is so stupid. Well, 2 demons in one day. Found some new dogs to lick your boots, Rodlia. Is that a way to welcome me back into your life? You need allies, and only persuading our reluctant fellows to join in common purpose is a feat only a woman of my charming beauty could accomplish. Ma'am, have you seen a mirror? Besides, you look too injured to be much use to anyone. You must be taking to your bed, old man. Let me and your champion take care of the void scent. Exactly, Blade Triple. We're just standing back there going like this. Once you can tuck tail and run at the first sign of trouble, you'd not even be standing here if it weren't for me. And even with the arm busted up, I'm still twice the pirate you are. You know, Kate Sith is like, do we have time for this? Me and my extra... God, I hate that body and everything about it. I just need to burn you. Just hold still. I'm just going to cast Glare on you really quick. Glare 3 or whatever I get. Okay, so. Yeah, I know, it's... This floating marvel is not a natural occurrence. It was constructed as a haven for refugees of the floods. The tome makes very clear in reference to the island's purpose and describes in detail. So, as the Void Ark never arrived at its destination, the island remains uninhabited. I can imagine no more suitable hideaway for our fiend. So we go there, we get the Nullstone, we kill them all. Wait, is there no Glare 2? I thought I just missed it. Think you're in charge now, do you? Poor broken Leofort's just some dead weight. Darn tootin'. There's no Glare 2. Wow. Captain Rodlia, compare the direction directed by the Ecto Compass with your navigational records. Certainly. Let's go do this thing. Yeah, sure. Oh, we're there. So, let's make sure we've got a proper setup. Looks like Rax is tanking, Alex and Giga are healing. That sucks, but that's okay. I accept. I will go ahead and deeps then. I'll do long. That's fine. It doesn't really matter. We've got a bunch of 60 dungeons I can use to try out stuff too. No, it is fine, really. I kind of plan to bounce around on classes when we get to the 60 dungeons to test out the classes I haven't. It's actually part of why I've decided to push back the dungeon runs until after we finish the class quests, so that I have the 60 abilities to be able to test out Black Mage, and Machinist, and Summoner, and... Anyways, you get the idea. And yeah, worst comes to worst, I can literally just say, hey, come help me smash through things. Alright, this is it. The hardest raid in the universe. Dune Scythe. Wow, okay. So, back to the best and strongest characters. So far we've narrowed it down to Zidane is a candidate. I should write these down. Zidane. We ejected Renoa. We ejected pretty much everyone from 7 except for Cloud and Vincent. And we had Terra and Celeste. Then we moved back to 5. Now, let's be blunt. Nobody in 5 is worth a damn without the crystals, so they're all ejected. Boop. That brings us back to 4. 4 is a weird one, because they're arguably weaker than most of their counterparts, because there's 5 of them. Even though they're kind of the epitomes of their class archetypes, they're not really all that strong in lore. Not really. So we're just going to eject everyone from 4. 3 are literal children without the crystals, ejected. 2's a really strange circumstance, because in 2, in lore, as I've talked about when covering 2... Yeah, no, I thought this was a Shadowbringers raid. Wild. As we covered when we discussed 2, you can actually grow stronger in lore in the same way you can grow stronger in gameplay. So that's kind of its own weird thing. Nevertheless, despite that, I would probably just outright eject 2, mostly because it's just kind of its own, you know, thing. Yep. Hi, Valerian. So that leaves 1, and 1 are normal, low-standard adventurers. So that leaves us with Zidane, Cloud, Vincent, Terra, and Celeste. So of that bundle, who would we say is probably the overall strongest? Let's go get another buff cycle on, because I've lost track of my buffs at this point. I mean, if we're counting Dissidia, we're counting all the Gaiden games, and frankly, I'd rather not, because that's just... That's so much. You know? I forget if that's a get away from. I feel like it's a get away from. Oh, yeah, that's... Bye! It's okay, you can be rezzed! I'm doomed. Asuna. Thank you. Remember, you can dispel that doom. There's one on Kata, too. There you go. There's our ice. There's our wind. Yeah, no, I actually remember this fight, because... So, I haven't gotten this one often, but I have actually gotten this one enough in Pugs that I bothered to remember most of the mechanics, because you can't just idle through this fight in a Pug, you know? You have to actually be paying some kind of attention. You can't just zerg. So it's like, I don't know. How does this work? I know this is going to sound extremely stupid, especially considering that I tend to do these kind of things while, you know, working. But I don't like being dead weight in MMOs. At least not if I can avoid it. If I can't avoid it, well, then that sucks, but that's whatever. I'm not sure. Monk doesn't play any differently so far. Do I have any new abilities at this level? I got True North, which I should probably be using more often. Up. Got that, which I should use more often, too. Oh, that's that one. That's that one. Yeah, I would say, in terms of potential, Zidane probably is the top tier there. I mean, even ignoring the Kuja connection, the fact is that, well, he's a spoiler, 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 and that's pretty high tier just because of what they were, you know? So, sure. I am so dead. I am so dead! Sprint was off cooldown. Or on cooldown, however you want to think of that. Yeah, that was cute. But in terms of actual, Vincent would also be very high, in terms of potential because of chaos. Oh, right. Yeah, I apparently don't have the buffs until Stormblood. Do you see how I have it set up, Bregwin? My initial is right here, my buff is right here, my AoE is right here. And that way I've kind of got 3 blocks of the 3 combos just kind of laid out like that. Yeah, Vincent is very high up. Like I said, if we're primarily focusing on in-lore, Vincent is way up there. I'm pretty sure Vincent can beat Cloud in a one-on-one fight if he let himself go. Now that's the catch. This kind of biles back to that whole idea of how sustainable that is. So in terms of burst, you know, in a sprint, I think I'd give it to Vincent overall. But I don't think Vincent could go the distance, for lack of a better way to put it. And I certainly don't think he'd want to, because he doesn't actively want to lose himself to chaos. So for that reason alone, I think I'm actually going to disqualify Vincent from the final score. So that leaves Zidane, who has great potential, but doesn't really showcase most of it. Cloud, who is literally superhuman. Terra, who is a hybrid who can cast magic. And Celeste, who is an artificial hybrid who can cast magic. And honestly, at that point, I'd say that's just a gimme. And gimme's the wrong phrase. I mean, that's a coin toss, right? Who's stronger? Which of those 3 superhumans is stronger? I would actually go so far as to say that Cloud, Terra, and Celeste are probably equal overall. Because at that point, you have to define the specifics of the battle to actually narrow down who wins, right? Is there enough distance? Well, then Terra probably kills Cloud before Cloud even reaches her. Is there only a little bit of distance? Well, then Terra hurts Cloud enough so that Cloud gets off a limit break when he reaches her. Are they in melee? Well, then Cloud wins. And so forth and so on. See, he's the second boss. I was right. And by second, I mean first. Terra does also have beast form, which she can use without limitation, which puts her above Vincent, for example. Terra does have runic. That is a truth. Although, that would mean if Celeste uses if Celeste uses runic, then she is limiting her own magic casting too, because it just absorbs the next spell. And the problem there is, well, Celeste is an accomplished and skilled fighter. Terra can beast mode, and so I think for that reason alone, it might actually. I'm trying to remember how this one works. Pull that. So, yeah, I hate myself for saying this. I think I'm going to give it to Terra, overall. Which is funny, because I've said that off the top of my head when asked this question before. But having really sat down and thought about it, I stand by it. I think I'd give it to Terra. I mean, you've played Dancer, Bregwin. No, several people can wield Ultimate Weapon in 6. Locke, Edgar, Terra, Celeste, I believe is the full list. Go figure, right? I don't remember which we need. Is it all fire or all ice? I think it's all fire. Or is it all ice? Shoot, I don't know. Well, it wasn't whatever we did. Got it. Cool. I'm gonna be real, I don't remember this fight that much, other than the fact that this is another fight I would ding the camera for, by sheer virtue of the fact that if I could zoom the camera out more on the upcoming phase, which hasn't even done yet, I could actually have a better chance of seeing what the hell I'm doing. Oh, Sabin's totally got a magical monk thing going on. Right? That's why we made that whole distinction a few days ago when we were talking about the difference between a pugilist, oh bullcrap, you know, monk, and a monk. Because if a monk is someone who is superhuman, they are using magic to imbue themselves. Key. A pugilist is someone who is a very skilled martial artist, like Yang. Tifa, arguably. Okay, so having gone through that, so we did it. Terra. Terra wins. Woo! Okay, next question. Who's the strongest main character? Who's the strongest bad guy in FF, which isn't a side quest super boss? Now, the way you're saying that means any villain of any kind whatsoever, as long as they aren't actually a super boss. That's a hell of a huge list. But the answer is Lavos. All right, so so believe it or not, we had a whole debate about this, a lengthy, extensive debate about this, back when we had forums. We actually came up with an answer. I mean, you know me, I recommend carrots in general. Carrots are a great snack food. You know, they don't make your hands messy for playing, and they're not, you know, bad for you. And they're crunchy. Crunch is important for snacks. Crunch helps with snackitude. But if you want something unhealthy along with that, just get some chips or something. But no, we've already discussed this, and we know exactly who the answer to this question is. It is a tie between XIV and Kuja. I'm not going to go through the whole discussion, but that was the results, was XIV or Kuja. XIV is ludicrously powerful and extremely regenerative. He can come back from very, 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 very little, and does so frequently. In fact, if you pay attention, the only way we do finally defeat XIV is that he gets pushed into the void, effectively, and the void takes him. Otherwise, he probably would have kept coming back. XIV also has the knowledge and understanding of an extraordinary amount of different people and different species and demons and powers and all that in him. And those are terrifying eye flowers. I just want everyone to know that. And they're following us. That's even better. I like this place. This place is wonderful. Hey, look, it's Kingdom Hearts! Okay, you think I'm joking? Watch the castle on approach. Here, I'll go into first-person mode. Look at it. Look at it! Look at it! Anyways. So, for some reason, Ultima... We've actually already mentioned this, but whatever. The thing about Kuja is extraordinarily talented of a mage. Very, very, very durable. Doesn't have the regenerative properties of XIV, but he can withstand a huge amount of damage. He is also built to be a super weapon in the similar manner as previously discussed. And, of course, he also has... he has the ability to trance. And he can kind of trance at will, once he understands how to do it. That's Kuja and that's XIV. Kefka, as much as I love him as a villain, honestly isn't that high tier, really. When it comes down to it. I guess I'm just gonna stay right where I was just standing. Okay, that's cool. the only time Kefka is super high tier is when he's absorbed the statues, the Magi statues. Which, I mean, yeah? That's almost cheating in its own way. It's like gauging Sephiroth only in his one-winged angel mode, you know? Hi, Morganite Sky. What's up? It's okay, we're expert Ultima killers. Synced, no less. Just a straight DPS check? Yeah, it is, isn't it? That's cool. We literally see him take a shot from Bahamut with, you know, a scratch, right? I get your point. He is certainly less durable than several other main villains we could mention, including XIV. But he's still certainly more durable than, you know, like I would be, for example. Still, overall, if you put a gun to my head between XDeath and Kuja, I'd probably give that to XDeath. It's Brigwin! Zeramus is a weird one, because a lot of Zeramus is the archetypal one-winged angel, ironically. Considering how much before Sephiroth it is. But it's true. Zeromus is the one-winged angel of Zemus. I'm dead. I've lost it. My plans are over. Screw it. I'm going to take you and everything else down with me. Weapon. So in short, well, Zeromus would be relatively strong in a similar manner to Vincent and several other characters we could mention and have mentioned. I don't think Zeromus could maintain because by definition he would burn himself out at a certain point, and arguably is just uncontrolled power at a certain level, you know? Not much to it. I suppose I should be reviewing the actual raid I'm covering right now. But I have been thinking about it as I go, I swear. Nope. Okay, that's not what I thought was happening. Cool, that's cool. So overall, I'm actually a lot less impressed than I was with the second raid. There's some interesting concepts here. But yeah, it's not as interesting of a raid. Most of the mechanics are what I've been taking to call the dungeon journal problem. Never mind how ridiculous death gaze, or doom gaze, whatever they call them. Help with that? Nope. I'm just gonna be out of it, I suppose. We are seeing more and more of the universal markers. So that's cool. I like the idea of furry faces thing, where he uses the Atomoses to change where the attack's gonna go. But again, the camera problem kind of gets in the way of that too, you know? I do like the near total lack of trash. And I mean that. That's not a dig. Thank you. Move. actually be using these things. I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually remember which combos are which by memory for that. Let's try this one next. So we had Fighting Beam Down, which is what that is too. Apparently any combo 3 is just Fighting Beam Down. Let's try straight 3 next time, see what that gives us. Whoa, okay. That's gross. Or cute. I'm not sure which. It's trying to hug us. I think that's a bad thing. Okay. Buffs up. Ugly cute. Yeah, no, that's a thing. Now, Dr. Winter asked a question about class reviewing, but I haven't had a chance to read that, so I'll look at that next here. That's an interesting attack. Alright, so let's do... So we're gonna do... This. This. What does that give us? A backflip kick. Okay. What about this? Oh, no problem. Let's try 2 in 1. 2 of these. I think what I'm leaning towards is I might give a plus for the raid as a whole, and possibly give a negative for it too. I don't know, I'm not sure, Rex. Like, I like it in concept, but I think I need a list of blitzes, honestly. Like, I do like the idea. Although I feel like it changes at a higher level. I could be wrong. So for those of you who wonder what I'm doing, my number 7 key over here, which is Perfect Balance, allows me to do anything in any order and still get the benefits of it. And when I do that, you see those 3 bars, it's going to kind of small with the right here. I fill those up with whatever, and the order in which I fill them gives me a different blitz, which is this one right here. It looks like there's only really 3 types of blitzes I can do at this level. And yeah, 3 are the same, which was the shoot down thing. It's kind of cool. Oh god, it's Diablos! Yeah, this raid's a bit too long. I'm actually talking myself out of a positive for this raid, actually. Because it has several camera issues, it has several dungeon journal issues. And like you say, it is a wee bit of a long one. That's probably why I was thinking of it as a later Alliance raid. Yeah, by the way, we're not done yet. This is not the last boss of this raid. Unless you're not aware. And yeah, some of these fights kind of suck, I agree. It's a shame. I rather did like the middle one, the Weeping City. That's all good. I mean, Alexander was the same way. It just kind of bounced around in quality. Now, Warring Triad. That was just good, good, good. Off. Doing all 3. No! tiresome battle hath dragged on overlong. I mean, even Diablos agrees with us on this one. So you like gravity spells, right? Right? You like gravity spells? I like gravity spells. I remember dying to this the first time I did this. We didn't have the deeps. Pop this. Baron. +4 now. A little smaller by a factor of like 10, but yeah. Why is the moon so big? God. Bit of a Bruce Almighty moon, isn't it? Look at that thing. Witness now my true purpose for seeking my queen's rebirth. Let's drag her corpse into the demi-goat portal there. And Diablos merges with the queen to become that nonsense. Diablos Hollow. Yep, so there's the stack don't look at that Rax mentioned earlier. Fun. Have they ever done that since? Whoop. That's cool. Uh-oh. It's a battle royale! No! Alright, today we're gonna be playing Fortnite. And obviously we're playing to win. So we did, like we do. Co-op Fortnite. Whoop, 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 whoop. I saw that. Alright, I didn't see that, to be more accurate. I need to be doing blitzes way more often. Good lord. Those come off cooldown a lot faster than I thought they would be. That's okay. I can do that. We'll just do this, and this. Butt wrong, because we're stupid. Let's do the second one right now. This, we'll turn it away. So we have a couple of dead people. That's okay. Dead people are wonderful. We could turn them into undead minions, you know. Oh, I'm going for the one. I'm going for the far one. Nope, okay, never mind. Good job. A lot of dead people, but, you know. The depths of the shadow's well shall rise your ruination. Okay. I don't like the sound of that, if I'm being completely honest. Hey, Cashel. Welcome to hell. Probably the most literal we'll get to that in this game. That's gonna buffs up. Refreshed. Whoops, let's screw up our combo order. First time I've done that. Let's stack on this person so they don't die horribly. Now let's do this. Now let's have him move away to try and screw up my combo. Let's have him fail at screwing up my combo, because screw you! This guy has way too much freaking health. We're not exactly a low DPS group, and this fight is just on and on and on and on, isn't it? What is this, Evilies? Okay. That kind of sucked. That's a sexy Moogle, which is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Just gonna leave without even looking at the loot. Good job, team, by the way. I'm actually leaning towards a gameplay negative, honestly. Just one, but still. What are we thinking? Do not relax your guard yet. The air is foul with his heavy presence. Is heavy with his foul presence, excuse me. Yeah, exactly. It's just... the mechanics are neat if you know them, which is a problem. Already take care of the fiend, have you? You need that dusty old relic to do it. What are the two fun fights for you, Pillars of Snow? If you don't mind my asking. Careful. Diablo still lurks in the shadows. Why am I here for this cutscene? I'll actually give you Diablos 1. Oh my god. Finally, I have claimed the Shadow Queen's power for mine own. Yet I am still harried by you noisome weevils. I must needs quit this realm for a time. And when I have outgrown accustomed to my newfound might, there shall be a reckoning for your insolence. Mwahaha. Ha 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 ha. This isn't time for napping. You got a job to do. Yep, it's random dude with no powers or abilities or anything whatsoever to save the day. Right though, Rax. I agree with that. Oh no, he's dead too. Why are we... why don't we use it? I know. We don't know how to. We just whack Diablos over the head with it. Bang, bang. My work here is unfinished. In Cesar's name, I unmake thee, Diablos. My master's will be done. That was a beam. What is this, My Little Pony? For 15 centuries have I yearned for this power. Thou canst unmake me. Actually, we totally can. My Little Kitty. Completely unrelated to anything, I suddenly have a story idea. My little kitty, my little kitty. Ah. Scritches are magic. Oh my god, that would be horrible. You will scritch me. And if you do, my power will rule supreme. But what if I don't scritch you? But I'm adorable. They do that thing where they like rub up against their leg. Come on, scritch me. No. Scritch me. No. Bad kitty. And we get a little squirt bottle. Should have known we were wasting our breath. The captain only heeds the siren in his heart. Damn the consequences. Told you you'd be lost without me, didn't I? God, Kate Sith is terrifying. Look at you, get knocked cold in your moment of glory. You weren't like to get another chance to honor your master's memory, and you almost missed it. I suppose you pulled through at last. I'll give you that much. Why am I here for this? Hey look, there's what's left of the airship after Death Gaze had his fun with it. Hi, Disco. Hey, can everyone in my party right now just say something in party really quick? Just say something. Please. About 8 times, give or take. Get this freaking ASCII art off my screen. Keep going. 4 more. 4 more. Here we go. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. God. Spare me your concern and your lectures. You all knew I wasn't like to stay abed with such a grand adventure in the making. I'd rather break every bone in my body than be forced to wear a mask. Besides, all that's well that ends well, huh? Diablos is dead, we're alive. That counts as a victory in my book. It's a pity it's cost me the Ramil in the doing of it. Hope she rests easy on that island refuge. Well, we did it. Quest complete. I'm out! Peace! No! Let me jump to my death! Let me die! My goggles are a mess, but I can always get a new pair of goggles. And a new airship. You do have tons of gold in your room. And her. Now we've taken the skies, but... By the way, does she have the Rogadin features or something? Because her body structure is just weird. The Talons and Red Bills can kiss out this brief alliance farewell, unless you'd be interested in a more permanent arrangement. You bootlickers might think your voice is a siren song, but it grates on my ears like a harpy's screech. It's the last time we fly together. We're back to being rivals. You're a stubborn man, but you do well to remember, I always get what I want in the end. Yes, yes, just kiss already! God damn it! You're grown people. Act like it. So, Kate, I mean, Monstrosity, what are you thinking about doing? Head back to the quarters and see if the furballs hurts. I'll be along in a minute. How do you heal a familiar? Which in this setting is probably a purely arcane construct, aka Ether Given Form, aka Carmichael 2. I feel so foolish. I demanded Leoford remain behind, only to have him rescue me from certain failure. A failure that would have made mock of your heroic efforts as well. It's okay, I'm used to it. Let me tell you about this other cat. You're too kind. What words exist that can properly express my contrition? I know not how to even begin making my apologies. I should like to approach the captain, but he has the air of a man who seeks solitude. Strange to see him so melancholy. Could it be the loss of his airship that troubles him so? Yeah, I won't intrude on his contemplation with clumsy questions and trite platitudes. Let's leave him be for the moment. Skitter, 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 skitter. Hey, Leoford. Shove! Okay, there we go. I am actually going to go talk to him. While I'm at it, shove! There we go. You two can enjoy the last, about 3 minutes of your life together. I'm a romantic at heart. So Baron asked yesterday, what's the most interesting failed MMOs from the gold rush of the early aughts that should have succeeded? Well, I'm just going to go with the default answer of Earth and Beyond, because Earth and Beyond was awesome and had potential out the wazoo, and then EA killed it for no good reason. Seriously, what they actually... This is not a joke, and if you haven't heard me say this before, EA specifically killed Earth and Beyond so they could repurpose the servers that were housing Earth and Beyond to host Sims Online. How many of you remember Sims Online even existed? I'll give you a hint. Sims Online didn't last but a few months after that, before that was shut down too. This would have been around, God, I don't know, 2003, 2004, somewhere in that range. I might ask you a question. Do you know the cause of the captain's melancholy? Is it because of the airship? Pray tell me if it's so. I cannot help but feel responsible for the vessel's destruction. And I would better understand Leoford's present distress. If you really want to understand, I suppose I should start with how the captain was orphaned as a child. As matters turned out, he was taken in by a high-born widow who raised him as her son. From what he told me, his adoptive mother was a kind, quiet-spoken woman, but due to some illness or another, she was rarely able to venture outside. Instead, she spent hours reading to her boy from a library well stocked with books from faraway lands. Leoford cared for her as a malady grew worse by the day, and he was there by her side when death carried her away to Thal's halls. When she was alive, she never did ask much of him. Not long before she passed, however, she wrung from him one single promise, that he escape the conformity she always endured and live his life free as a bird. As you've likely guessed, her name was Ramil, and that's her portrait. That explained much. I'd wonder the origin of the vessel's naming. The Sky Pirate way is of life that he chose for himself. I like to think he named the ship after his mother, so she would be there to watch over him on his adventures. Since when are you so loose-lipped about a comrade's private past? Can I help you? I ain't in the habit of leaving on people's sympathy, so you can all keep that tidbit to yourself, eh? And I thought I told you to see to the furball's wounds. Look at your cape. It's all in tatters. Come here a moment. A scarf? For me? It's a little present we give to every new Red Bill. Not yet, Dr. Winter. Ramil taught me that it's not protecting memories that's most important. It's having the strength to follow the path and make those memories in the first place. Seeing how determined you were to clean your master's slate, I'd say you fit in with our crew. I think I've decided, I've been pondering this for like 10 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and hit Dusk Vigil next. I'm not going to have time to do a lot of dungeons, but I think smacking out a couple of the early dungeons would be a good move right now. So anybody who'd like to join for Dusk Vigil 2, if you feel to poke at me. And, yeah, that. So let's get this straight. There's no need for apologies. The Sky Pirate makes his choice and sticks by it. Life of a Sky Pirate, huh? As I seem bereft of both place and purpose, I accept your offer. I'm yours to command. Good. Your first duty is to give him a proper send-off. About bloody time you see eye to eye. But honestly, Captain, you don't mean to head out in those rags, huh? Let's get you cleaned up, too. It's weird on the story axis. I've been debating the story of this one for a while. And if you remember, one of the things I said before we started it was that I liked half of it, and I disliked half of it. The half that's about the world building, the follow-through of Ampidor, the fulfillment of the information of the War of the Magi. That's cool. I like that. I like how they just do it. I like how we learn more about the Void Scent, about Diablos and what he was doing and why he was doing it. And then we have these four. I don't dislike them, but I just don't care for the most part, you know? As it happens, I do not. Classic game lover. We killed the Warring Triad earlier. It's time we parted ways. Let me give you an escort down to Coldwind. Yeah, Kate Sith is horrifying. Leoford's okay, but one-dimensional. And Lucia's there? The mechanic is there? And he's like, I'm an adventurer. And she's like, alright, I'll go along with it. And she's like, I'm enthusiastic. And she's like, I'm a monstrosity. And that's their characters. And I'm waiting to hear Valvedrix tell me how stupid I am. Because Valvedrix mentioned she likes some of the characters here, and I'm curious which or when. Or which. Which or what. There we go. Oh yeah, then we have Idiot Pirate. What I'm planning to play ironically doesn't matter, Rax. I think Baron means this raid was filler. Which, by all intents and purposes, it is, in fact, filler. Whether it's good or bad filler is debatable, but it is definitely filler. But by that definition, Alexander was arguably filler as well. I did, but that's why we're doing dungeon rather than dungeons. I'm gonna actually disband just to make it so I can... Well, actually, no, hang on. We're not actually a alternate group. So what is this? This is Pillars of Snow, Kata, Rax, and me. Nope, Kata's offline. We'll go ahead and grab Mr. Redix. No, he said he wanted to get on that. This is a really minor HUD complaint that I've already given a negative for, but I kind of wish the info in the party tab was available here, out of dungeon, you know what I mean? Like, just, like, show the offline icon or the AFK icon or something, you know? Or show what class they are. Anyways. Oh, never mind, Mr. Red is not coming. Okay, in that case, we'll get Nace. Join us, Nace. I can do whatever, though. Like I said, I don't actually care for this one. So it is whatever. Well, Nace says Nace will DPS, so Onyxia, that is to say Pillars of Snow, would you rather heal or tank? I have no preference. Don't worry, classic game lover. We did. They're great fights, too. All three of them are some of the better fights in this expansion. I'd say there's only one other fight that challenges the Triad in terms of quality, and we'll be getting there much later when we go through the MSQ. Doesn't matter. Okay, fine. I'll heal. They do, and they don't, classic game lover. Nace has apparently decided to ignore me. So let's see, who else is joining? Maverick! Let's get Maverick in here. Join us, Maverick. No, Zach Taft, I barely had time to eat during the lunch break. See, Zach Taft's one of those people who wants me to work more and harder, not take breaks. I tried to invite you, Nace, and nothing happened. So, usually when I invite someone and nothing happens, I assume they clicked no, or are AFK. Therefore, you were kicked! Be gone. We have no place for awesome people like thee in this terrible group of misfits. There it is, Dust Vigil. The only pre-60 optional, it's just weird. That's not the first time that's happened to me, too. It doesn't happen often, but every now and again I invite someone and nothing happens. And they're like, what are you going to invite me? And I'm like, but I already did invite you. What's funny is STO does the same damn thing. See you around, Pretzel. Okay, so Dr. Winter had a question. Does monetization go into scoring, like price to content value in the Mog Station, etc.? Yes and no. We do give negatives for in-game scores. That is to say, Mog Station, microtransactions, and we have given a negative to FF14 for microtransactions. But that's about as far as that goes. So Dr. Winter asks a lengthy question. Many times you mentioned that X doesn't become good until Y. Does that still qualify them as good, even if it's just in the high-end game expansions? Would the same qualify for a class that is only good at low or mid-level? Or a class that needs to be level 800 to be good is actually bad and requires extreme investment to be viable? So this is a hell... We've never done this one in XIV. We never did this. Yeah, this is Dusk Vigil 2. Yeah, it's optional. Weird, isn't it? It's a level 51 optional dungeon. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying Dusk Vigil 2. It's actually Dusk Vigil 1. And I keep confusing it with Stone Vigil because screw me. Ugh. Anyways, really quick, thank you, Silver Black Eagle, very, very much. Always appreciate. Thank you. If you know where you want to put that, dude, please let me know. I will jot it down. I'll even let Onyxia die. Okay, no, I won't. There. Okay, so. There. Okay. Yeah, now the joke from Raptunes makes sense, doesn't it? Snow Vigil, Dusk Vigil. So Dr. Winter does ask a valid question, and it's kind of one of those weird situations. So let's walk this back a little bit. Let's start off with the easiest to answer things. Let's say there's a class that sucks at level 10, is great at level 30, and sucks at level 60. Is that a good class? No. Obviously not. Is a class that sucks at level 1, but is good at level 10 a good class? More debatable, but the answer is effectively yes and no. This is one of the reasons we're reviewing this in this manner. So in other words, a class that becomes good is not exactly a new concept. Anybody who's played any RPG, probably ever, is familiar with the concept. It's why the phrase linear fighters and quadratic wizards even exists, because anybody who knows early D&D knows mage casters, you know, like the elf class, sucked back in D&D. They would eventually get good, but you get the point, right? And yeah, Rax is correct. The exact point when they get good matters. So this is one of the reasons why I'm so harsh on Dragoon, for example. No offense to Rax and his favorite class, but Dragoon takes quite a decent chunk of time to get good. Same with Black Mage, to be completely honest. Now, they've been doing some good work lately in pushing when classes get good forward. I've already demonstrated this with Monk, and of course, we've already showcased this. Please stop slapping me. With, I'm just telling you the truth. You agree with me on this. I try Classic Game Loader, thank you. Summoner. Summoner's the other one they recently redid to get better early on. It's not like new classes are immune to this problem. As I pointed out several times, Reaper actually kind of sucks at low levels. Reaper is arguably not the class it needs to be until 70, which is pretty far up there. And as I've talked about many times, Paladin is a great tank at 80. probably the worst class of the entire game when it comes to when it gets good. In my opinion. Obviously, it's all opinion and preference here. So, I guess that's kind of a roundabout way to answer your question. I hope that answers it, Dr. Winter, because it varies. It matters on the specifics of the whens and the wheres and the why-fors. Now, Disco says, first good video game. The first good video game I played would probably be Super Mario Bros. 1. Oh god, the Oliphant fight. The first good simultaneous multiplayer game I ever played. I feel like it's probably Double Dragon, the original. Ever? Nope, I stand by my answer. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Video games didn't get good until the NES. And I mean that. A lot of people... I've heard some people say the Atari had some good games, the Commodore 64 had some good games, and those people probably don't remember what those games were actually like, to be blunt. The best Atari games in the world were about 10 minutes of enjoyability. You know? Making me heal instead of letting me DPS. What's wrong with this group? Anyways. So, I stand by my answer. Super Mario Brothers, first good game. Even that isn't a great game, it's just, you know. I can really stand to stop being rooted. Oh my god! Yep, nope, that's... Wow, that was a really long stun. Good God. Well, you got this. It's only got 70% health left. Least fun FF game? 2. 2 sucks. I've reviewed 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was at the bottom of the pile. 2 and 3 were both net negatives. Oh, gotcha. And Mystic Quest was a net positive, and that's all I have to say about that. Anyways. Now, Classic Game Lover does go into something else. So some of you are probably wondering why, for so many decades, it's been a common video game design trope to design a class that kind of sucks and then gets better. And there's 2 fairly common reasons for this. The first is, it's done on accident. To be perfectly blunt, I think that's what happened in FF14. I legitimately do not think that the developers of ARR walked into it thinking, I'm gonna make this class suck! No, I don't think that's what happened. I think they were just getting used to designing MMO classes, right? And figuring out what they were doing and stretching with the engine and blah, 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 blah. So, that then, of course, leads to the other side of the equation. Some people will deliberately design a class to suck because they want it to suck for a while and then it'll get good. Oh, hang on. Stop. I do need to read the pages. This is actually a really horrific story in this dungeon, so I'm going to finish my thought, then I'll read. Sorry for the delay. Some people will deliberately make classes suck on purpose, specifically either because they want you to earn it for it to get good, or they want it to be like a bonus reward. I'm sure you can think of dozens of examples of this. Ignoring the obvious Dungeons & Dragons example I gave, several Final Fantasy games have had classes that are crap until you super max them, right? For an extreme example would be the Onion Kid over on FF3. But there's other examples of this too. FF5 has some jobs which are just not great until you do them. Yeah, Freelancer, we've got in FFT Tactics, there's several jobs that kind of suck until you put through it. You know, you get the idea. And that's a different thing. The whole idea there is they want you to suck for a bit and basically have a harder time than you would to earn being awesome. And that's fine. That's a different mentality entirely. And that, you know, as long as that thing is an option and its own thing, that's fine. I will say that kind of mentality probably doesn't work in the same way in an MMO that it does in a single-player session. Now, Maverick has to go, so I'm going to shut up and read this thing. Go ahead and pull without me. You know. To whoever reads this, if there's anyone left to read it, let it be known that I, Sir Pascalere, bore witness to Dalamud's fall. The lesser moon's descent, the black doom which emerged from within, The flames which spread across the horizon turning night to day, it shall haunt me for the rest of my days. It is the dawn of the 7th umbral era, according to some of the men. I told them to put no stock in the ravings of the prophetess, but even I do not know what to believe anymore. Pyro! No, that's not Pyro, that's Venters. Damn it, Venters! You got me excited for a second. Now I gotta kill you. The engineers are still surveying the damage, but hardly anyone with eyes can tell that the Dusk Vigil is beyond repair. Some walls are hardly fit to be called as such, crumbling piles of masonry though they are. The officer has been pleading with the Sir, asking him to order a withdrawal. He knows our position is untenable, yet refuses. We will hold to the last. Why can't I heal while I'm reading? For we are the shields on the wall, the defenders of the Holy See. He is a pious man, lest those who serve under him. Okay, so let me clear the... Disco says, should I buy the big cat mount? I mean, I wouldn't. But I'm a weirdo. I'm a humorless gorm. Damn it! I knew I should have brought Scholar. There's one more in here. I don't have that ability at this level. There it is. I knew there was another one. The men were rescued from the collapsed wing, and they have not fared well. Given our dwindling supplies and the seemingly endless blizzard, we may be forced to make difficult decisions soon. This unseasonable weather grows worse with every passing day, and the toll it has taken on morale is plain. We have yet to receive reinforcements from the Holy See, and I fear none shall come. Nevertheless, Sir Yulmarek remained steadfast in his decision, and will suffer no talk of withdrawal. His steward tells me he passes the hours in the chapel praying to the Fury for guidance. But I chanced to see him once as he knelt before the statue. His eyes were transfixed on the jewel in its helmet. He was whispering things I dare not write. I mean, that's true, Classic Game Lover, but again, that doesn't really apply in the same way in the MMO space. If you make a demonstrably, objectively worse class in an MMO, then you have screwed up somewhere. The Sir has taken me into his confidence. He says I am an honest man. I wish I were a braver one. The mutiny has been quelled. Among the starving, half-mad knights were Sir Yulmarik's most trusted officers. He wielded the axe himself. Sir Yulmarik received me in the chapel afterwards. I told him we will not last a fortnight without food. He smiled and told me the Fury has blessed us with a bounty of fresh meat, and then returned to his prayers. I joined him. Oh my god, that is horrible! Yeah, by the way, the story in this place is pretty dark. You caught the cannibalism there, right? I love the way they tell it, too. They don't just flat out say, and then we killed them and ate them after he executed them. No, it's just... Oh, Helone, pray forgive your humble servant. Too long have I let fear rule my heart, and in my cowardice I have been party to unspeakable acts. Whoa, 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 whoa! Stop dying! No! Shoot! I couldn't get out of the... I couldn't put the book down quickly enough to save you. Literally couldn't put the book down quickly enough. Oh my god. I thought you had it. Screw the story. No one cares. Okay, real quick, can I tell a super quick fun story while we deal with this pack here? So I got this in a roulette. This is probably about a month ago at this point. And as we were going through, one of the party members just randomly said, man, I love the story of this dungeon. Someone else said, oh, really? What is it? I was like, oh, just start reading the things. And the whole group, this whole group of random roulettes, including me, just stopped while the one person was reading the pages. How often do you see that kind of a thing in MMOs? I know I shall never see my children again, nor would I want them to look upon their father's face and what it has become. I am outside for grace. I should probably mention, I'm telling you all the positive stories. I do have some negative stories as well. I just don't like to repeat them. Speaking of which, this fight might suck at level. There's still Yulmarek. What's left of him. So, yeah. So there's going to be a lot of ads on this fight. I'm going to be real. The only strategy we usually employ on this is try to just focus fire him. But eventually the DPS, the damage from the ads, is just going to be ridiculous. So we'll see how we manage. I don't have all my abilities at this level, so I'm going to do what I can here. Stand on the tank, because I'm a good healer. I have that ability? I do. Good. There was one dungeon. This was actually quite a while ago. This was in Evansward, I'm almost positive. During the Google Library, I want to say. Axe and I were both trying to stop and read the books. They tried to get us kicked over that. So what ended up happening, I say tried because they failed, because we controlled 50% of the group. But what ended up happening was we had to go back after the dungeon was complete and go and just read the books in the now empty dungeon. Like I said, I've got bad stories too. In fact, I'm pretty sure some of my friends are familiar with the rants about green DPS I've given, and a lot of that anger boils from some of the vitriol I had to deal with back in the day as a healer, as an Astrologian main. Anyways. Ross says, if you could have an arcade machine in your theoretical game mood, which game would you pick? My knee-jerk answer is Killer Instinct. It's the first one that came to mind. Because everything else has already been done better on, like, a console or a PC or whatever. But Killer Instinct is Killer Instinct. I'd be tempted by Virtua Fighter, but I'm pretty sure that's on consoles nowadays, too. No, I take it back. Simpsons Arcade. It's a side-scroller beat-em-up. That's what I'd go with. A follow-up would be the X-Men side-scroller beat-em-up. Then I would go with Killer Instinct. Note to self. What's funny is you can get MAME, I think? Machines nowadays. Not too expensive to get those set up and working. Like, they actually sell custom boards and everything nowadays. It's great. For those of you not aware of how that works, basically they sell the board, which has the stick and the buttons, and you can plug in like an an SD card or an actual hard drive that has the game on it, and then you just have it designed to have an HDMI output, and there you go. There's your arcade machine. Streets of Rage 2 was on the arcade, yes. Street Fighter 2 Turbo is a good game, but it also is perfectly serviceable on, for example, the SNES. So, there's no real reason to get that in the arcade. I actually thought of several that were in a similar vein. Yeah, I actually preferred Marge or, well, basically anybody but Homer. Homer's attack range kind of sucked, honestly. Oh yeah, if you just went for cool factor, go for it. But you see why I was trying to limit myself for stuff that I couldn't get elsewise, or at least not a good version elsewise. Let's see here. So Dr. Winter says, let's go with the example of the Paladin. What is a Paladin? If it needs to be level 80 to really fulfill this role, is that a lore minus worthy class? Or an absence of a negative? What if a Paladin becomes a good tank at 50 or 30? So, you might not have noticed this, but I've actually already given Paladin a negative, because it kind of sucks. I am 90% certain I will give Paladin another negative for at 60, where it continues to be bad. I'm not sure about out 70, but assuming we give it a negative at 70, that will be 3 negatives for Paladin. And 1 positive, because once we get to 80, Paladin is actually a pretty rockin' healer. DPS. Whoop, tank. Wow, I can't talk at all tonight. Now, if Paladin became a good tank at 50, then it would be a positive right off the bat. So, in this exact game, I should clarify, because again, it's always circumstantial, right? But that's the equivalent of asking me, in WoW, is a class a good class if it gets good at level 10? I know that doesn't translate one-to-one, but that is kind of the equivalent at this point in time. And if it becomes a good class at 10, or 50, then it's a good class. That's pretty much the judgment we were using when it came to the other ones. Ah, the Griffin! I hate this fight. It's not actually a hard fight, it's just an irritating one. She really wants her cutie mark, you don't even understand. She also is apparently blind and can't see what she's doing. I love this whole dungeon of undead soldiers and this terrible thing, and by the way, there's this random bird for some frickin' reason. So, the biggest mechanic, and really, there's actually only 2 mechanics. One is she'll pick someone random to jump to and do damage to that person. The other, not that thing, is she will make a giant tornado in the middle, which will hurt, and there's the jump too, so I'm just gonna do that. Yep. And then we're gonna have the tornado should be, whirling jail, so we just get in line of sight, and we're done. That's the fight, in a nutshell. I see a lot of people die on this fight, though. The aforementioned group I just talked about, yeah, we almost wiped on this. We didn't wipe, because I was healing. I was actually leveling this very class, as it happens. I suppose I should demonstrate what that does. So hang on, let me get some heals out. So it like drags you in, and then fetters you, and then it goes, and you get a wind resistance debuff. And almost all the damage this boss does is wind damage, so there you go. More damage than that, but whatever. Well, quality of life change they did quite a while ago, I do believe. It's made it so that line of sight stuff doesn't actually affect your spells. Nice little touch. I think there's some exceptions, but for the most part, like, you can shoot through, like, the meteor chunks and the behemoth fight way back in Crystal Tower and stuff like that. So, you don't have to stop DPSing, if you're ranged, that is. Good job as always, thank you for joining me. That was Stone Vigil. I gotta be real, I'm probably gonna go ahead and call that a wash in terms of gameplay. It's not great, it's not terrible, it's just kind of there. Yeah, it's a leveling dungeon, but I am giving that a story positive. That is just horrifying on so many levels. I said Stone Vigil again. It's just Stone Vigil 2, okay? It's Stone Vigil 2. In fact, I'm going to write it in my notes. Stone Vigil 2. Vigil. Yeah, where's Steel Vigil? God! I'm still stuck in Bronze Vigil. Ugh. I need to rebalance this crap. Alright, so I'm actually going to cut off for the day. And I know this is a weird thing to... Hang on, 30, you still there? I should clarify before I cut off. Let's double check. Okay, yes. Alright, so... this is kind of a new thing. Very new. In an effort to try and help out with people's schedules as well as Guido's health, we're going to start doing D&D nights on Thursday earlier than usual, which means pretty much for the foreseeable future, Thursday streams are going to end a bit earlier and cut off earlier, and then I'm going to switch over and be on the D&D stream. So that's kind of why I wanted to knock out Stone Vigil. I figure it's a nice, by itself, doesn't have anything to do with anything kind of a thing. We knock it out, get it done. Tomorrow, we'll probably start questing it up, I think. Will be the main thing. Start doing the class quests. Start doing the crafter quests and the gatherer quests. I think that'll be primary focus for beginning of tomorrow. Once those are done, I think we'll pause the quest block so we don't get quest bogged down like we did in ARR and knock out the rest of the dungeons. Because we still have, I think, like 5 optional dungeons. I'm going to list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 8, actually. 8 optional dungeons that we'll be smashing through. At some point. Not sure of the exact timing, for obvious reasons. So, I hope to see at least some of you over on the D&D channel, which will be Guido's channel. I'll be hosting it here, of course. And I'll see the rest of you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for quests. Which will be, several of these will be my first time doing them. I think I'm actually going to do the, just for everybody cares, I think I'm going to do the ones I've already done first. The New Game Plus ones. So, like, for example, I know I've done Astrologian, yep. And, I have done Dragoon, yep. And I've done Machinist, and I have done Dark Knight. And you're probably thinking, you've done a lot of these. Well, kinda. I've also done Warrior and Paladin, so I guess that's that. But my point is, you get the general idea. That'll be the overall gist. So... see you around.